The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Is there anything more insidiously disturbing, awake or asleep, than the slow drip, drip, drip of a faucet with a worn washer, a tap not quite turned off, an unknown leak somewhere in the plumbing? Particularly in the far reaches of the night, it can murder sleep better than Macbeth. Our mystery drama, The Lady of the Mist, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Ian Martin and stars Rosemary Murphy. Drayton Manor is not nearly as old as the House of Drayton itself. By that I mean that the structure is probably not much over 200 years old. But the Drayton family is listed in Burke's Peerage as far back as the War of the Roses. And the present house is certainly built on the foundations of the ancient castle which guarded the head of the lake and the river that feeds into it. But this is 1975, and once again, a remodeling is in order.
I located the trouble right here, Lady Drayton.
Miss Drayton, Mr. Giles. The title, such as it is, evolves only on the men in direct line. My brother Charles, for example. Or if I had a son.
You, a son?
We shall hope it isn't likely since I'm not married. So, that great booming drip of water I hear in my bedroom is just caused by this leaky old faucet.
All it is, Mum, that it bounces off the drain and makes it all echoey-like and strange from below.
Can't we do something to stop it? My brother and his new bride have to sleep right under this.
I tried a new washer, Mum, but the old stem is so warm.
Can you stop the noise is the important thing.
Oh, yes. All it takes is to be careful. Like when you turn off this here cold tap, you just gives it an extra little nudge, like, and she's tight as a drum.
Well, thank heavens. That drip, drip, drip was like the Chinese water torture. Enough to drive a person stark staring mad.
Oh, yes. Nothing new in these parts, though, or in this family. Hey, your ladyship.
Miss Giles. Miss. Sir Charles is the lord of the manor, but in this day and age, who pays attention to such things anymore?
Oh, around here we cling to the old ways and the old superstitions. Sort of rubs off on you without your knowing it, you might say. Just looking out that window there at the waterfall, twilight coming on as it is. If I didn't know better, I could swear I could see the Lady of the Mist peering through there like it was a veil or a curtain.
Now, come along, Giles. I don't know what's come over you.
Oh, just remembering and hoping she's resting easy now.
Who?
Her. What puts the water madness on you like she did to poor Sir Charles' first wife?
Oh, Giles. Nobody knows if the woman really ever existed. It's all just folk legend.
Oh, she existed all right. You'll never convince me or any of the plain folk hereabouts she didn't. Lonely she is, calling people across the vale to the other side to keep her company. And the animals.
The what?
Oh, they've took the water madness again ever since the news of the wedding. Peter Dombey, he found 2 of his sheep wandered, and they came up drowned in the lake. And I lost me old cow. I'll take odds that's where she's off to. Oh, she'll turn up one of these days.
If your Lady of the Mist is lonely for company, why pick on animals? I'm sure she'd rather have someone to talk to. But even if she doesn't, why does she return them?
Dead, she does. It's the soul she wants us all, you see. Shades and spectres, just like ourselves. And it isn't only animals. What about the Blodgett boy 5 years ago, eh? And comes to that, What about her poor first ladyship 10 years ago?
Why, Giles, you know that was an accident.
Suicide, some still whisper.
What nonsense. You saw her slip yourself, and me try to save her.
So I did. But lately I've taken to wondering if maybe the lady didn't call her. Especially with Sir Charles marrying again.
I haven't any more time listening to country gossip. Come along, Giles. We've loads to do to prepare for them coming. I don't know how we'll ever manage it. At least that drip has been fixed. Pick up your tools and let's get along.
Yes, sir.
And I don't want to hear one word of this from now on. Do you hear? I want this Lady of the Mist put to rest.
Oh, yes, sir. If only she'll stay there.
I should have been more vexed with Giles if I hadn't been so put out with Charles. Of course, I was a perfect fool to have financed his little jaunt to Europe, and more than that, to let him go alone. I knew, of course, there would be women. There always are in Charles's life. But that he would get married again. Well, it was just like the first.
I hope you'll take to Meg, Vanessa, darling.
Oh, I know I will. I mean, how couldn't I, since she's your sister?
Well, she's quite a bit older than I, you know, and Margaret, Meg, is sort of county, if that means anything.
You mean Grosse Pointe, Michigan, Philadelphia Main Line, that sort of thing?
Do I?
Yes, well, I can live with that. It's how I was brought up.
Oh, I can't imagine it. You, Tweedy, stuffy, and old-fashioned.
Oh, no, not me. I'm kind of a heller, matter of fact.
You?
Oh, I warned you before we got married that I'm not quite the real me. I mean, I'm just still so shook up after Mom and Dad totaled themselves in that car wreck.
Oh, darling.
You know, until I met you, I thought I'd never be myself again. But thanks to you, I'm on the way. You know, I feel a little guilty about it. But Charles, I've never been so happy in my whole life.
Oh, just give me the chance and I'll make you that always. You know, I was just thinking.
What?
The manor is pretty far out and sort of isolated.
Oh, but while I'm getting my head put together again, it's just what I need. To be alone with you.
Well, we shan't be exactly alone. I mean, there's always Meg.
Oh, darling, I don't mind at all about sharing the house with her. You're the one I'm going to be selfish enough not to want to share with anyone. Oh, come on, Charles. I'm dying to get there.
Meg, this is Vanessa.
How do you do? I'm so glad to meet you. Okay, may I call you Meg? And please call me Van.
Yes, of course. Van?
Well, I must say I've never seen you so bowled over, Meg. Of course, Vanessa is radiantly beautiful, but...
It isn't that. Of course she is, but you didn't warn me that she'd be so incredibly like... I'm sorry. Perhaps I put my foot in it.
No, that's all right, Meg. I know Charles was married before. He told me all about it.
He did?
Well, of course I did. Thing to do, after all. Van and I have no secrets. Brenda never was strong, and the pneumonia was just too much for her.
Do I really look so much like her, Meg?
My dear, time dims memories. There is a resemblance, but just for a moment. And one can see that there's nothing weak about you. Pity I was silly enough to bring the whole subject up. Now, come along in and let's see about getting you settled. But I was lying, of course. The resemblance to me was startling. So startling that for a moment it had taken my breath away. And I had found my heart pounding in my head as if saying, she's come back. Not again. Oh, no, not again. Couldn't be again. But the pleasant, familiar process of dinner and after-dinner coffee buried such thoughts below the veneer of normal hospitality. It wasn't till Charles went out to put the car away and close up the garage that they started to sneak back insidiously.
More coffee, Meg? Oh, I didn't mean to sound as if I were taking over. I just...
Oh, my dear, it's your house now.
Oh, our house, I hope. You can't know what it is to have a family again, feel cared for, and not alone.
You took your mother and father's death very hard, I suspect.
I flipped. It was so sudden. Well, I mean, everyone knows that in the normal course of events, you're going to lose your father and your mother, but you think, or I guess in hindsight, I thought there'd be some advanced warning. It wouldn't just happen like one minute they were there and the next minute they were gone forever.
We have to take these things in our stride.
Yes, but do you know what happened on my 18th birthday?
No, I didn't.
They were hurrying to get back in time to spend it with me. My birthday surprise. And instead, the surprise I got was 6 months in a psychiatric clinic and another year on the couch.
Good heavens.
Oh, don't look so shocked. It's all behind me now. I'm an old lady of 20 now with her head just about screwed back on straight. And Charles. Well, Charles is the one who'll complete my cure. Now that I've got him, I don't need anything else. I just hope I can be woman enough to make him feel the same about me.
Well, you girls get acquainted while the old man's back was turned.
I hope so.
I'm sure I learned a great deal. Now, I think I should leave you two alone.
Oh, you don't have to move, Meg. I was going to suggest to Van that we go on up to our room. It's been a long day. All right, Van?
Oh, yes, dear. Let's go up to our room.
Our room. 2 words like a scalpel which opened up the wound and let me look at it openly for the first time since the news of the marriage. Our room. Why, that was my room, which I had to vacate to accommodate this intruder. Worse than that, an intruder returned almost as a ghost to haunt me. Brenda, as she was 10 years ago. I crossed to the window and looked out. The park was bathed in bright moonlight. At the end of it, the beams glistened and bounced off the silver lake, and the mist of the waterfall that fell from the cliff into it. I couldn't hear Charles and Van, of course, but later I was to know a part of their conversation which charted my course.
Charles, come here to the window.
Huh? What are you looking at, darling?
How peaceful and lovely it all is. And that curtain of stars falling down to the lake. Every drop of water in the moonlight looks like a star.
Yes, my dear. Now, come away. Let's get to bed.
Just one moment. Let me soak it all in. Look, Charles. Isn't it strange?
What?
The waterfall. If you look at it long enough, you could swear that column of mist looks like the figure of a white lady looking out from her window into the night, like me.
For heaven's sake, come away from the window, Brenda. And
Brenda?
I'm sorry. I meant Vanessa. Oh, forgive me, my darling. That's Meg's fault, talking about her tonight. I won't ever make such a slip again, I promise you. Everything's going to be all right.
Do you really get that feeling that it isn't going to be all right at all? Ancient legends that people refuse to let die. A first wife who seems to be afflicted with the same problem. And a sister who seems to feel that her way of life has been threatened. Not a very auspicious homecoming for a new and young wife whose only search is for peace and love. I shall return shortly with Act 2. Well, perhaps too much of my life is concerned with brooding night fancies, which vanish with the light of dawn. Certainly breakfast the following morning has been a pleasant and cheerful meal, with the bright sun streaming in the windows and drenching the green grass of the park and the dancing blue of the lake with sparkling warmth. Now as Van, Meg, and Charles rise from the table...
I'm glad you slept well, Van.
I certainly did, Meg, like a top.
Well, what's on the program for you two today?
Well, I thought maybe Van might like to have a look at some of the scenery around the manor.
First of all, I want to start by walking down to the lake and looking at that mysterious lady I saw last night.
What mysterious lady?
Oh, it's just that old optical illusion that Oh, good morning, Giles. You looking for me?
Begging your pardon, sir, but Molly said you'd be finished breakfast and it'd be all right for me to come in.
Of course it is, Giles. And you haven't met Sir Charles's new wife, have you? Van, dear, this is Mr. Giles Folkham, who lives down the road and who's not only an invaluable part of the family, so to speak, but also a fount of local knowledge.
How do you do, Mr. Giles?
Oh, Lord bless me, lady. Not Mr. Giles, it is, plain and simple.
Oh,
Giles is our jack of all trades and master of most of them. Giles, did you want something?
Why, yes, sir. I wanted to know if you'd be wanting the horses ready this morning.
Well, what do you say, Van? We can ride, use the carriage, or putter about in the car?
Well, we got to go down to the lake first. I want to look for the lady.
Oh, begging your pardon, Mum, but if I was you, I'd stay away from the lake. At least for a while.
What does that mean, Giles?
Why, you know what I was telling you, Miss Drayton, and you said that
Oh, you mean all that nonsense about the water madness turning up again. Did you find your cow?
Now, wait a minute. What's all this about water madness?
Well, you know, sir.
It seems everyone knows but me. Can't I be let in?
Oh, it's just some silly local superstition. Why don't you get along and have a nice ride?
Yes, why not? What shall it be, Van? Auto, carriage, or some good stout horseflesh? I've a nice docile little mare if you fancy the last, and I did see some riding clothes of yours, didn't I?
Oh, yes, I love to ride, but no docile little mares, please. I'd like something with a little get up and go. Well, excuse me, Meg. I'll go up and change. You coming, Charles?
Oh, I'm half dressed for riding already. You could bring down my jacket if you will, or I'll be up in a moment. Just want to check out the tack with Giles.
Right, dear.
You go ahead, Giles. Right with you.
As you say, sir.
Meg, what's all this about Giles's cow?
Oh, you know, the usual. It's been a dry summer, and while you were off in Europe, a few cattle turned up drowned.
Giles lost a cow?
No. At the moment, it's just missing, but of course he's convinced the Lady of the Mist is up to her old tricks.
Now, look here, Meg. I don't want any of this nonsense brought up in front of Van.
I'm sorry, but she has to know sooner or later.
Oh? You don't like Vanessa?
I didn't say that.
Then what are you saying?
Great heavens. Are you too blind to see for yourself? The resemblance. You've married the same woman you did 12 years ago, except for the accent. It's like bringing a ghost back to haunt us all.
I think we'll stop this right here, Meg. I'm quite madly in love with Van. It's a whole different thing than that childish schoolboy marriage of years ago. But if you don't like it, you can get out. You don't have to live here.
May I remind you that the manor may be yours by entail, but it's my money that keeps it running ever since you gambled your own away.
Now, let me tell you something in return. As it happens, Vanessa was left a very rich girl. And not only has she given everything to me in her will, but she's already given me power to handle her money. So I don't need you anymore, Meg. The apron strings have come untied.
Charles, I don't want to quarrel. I don't know how this started.
Nor do I. I just want you to know how things stand. Like it here, and you're welcome to stay. If you don't like it, you can lump it.
At first, I was shocked beyond belief. Charles hadn't defied me since he was a little child, and I was left to bring him up. Then suddenly, I was monstrously furious. The years were rolled back, and it was Brenda all over again. An interloper had chased me from my room and from my rightful position. Title or not, I was the Lady of Drayton Manor. It was mine, and nobody was going to take it away from me. It didn't take me long to recover. It was just something to handle, as I always managed to handle things. The only question was how. That would have to be resolved. In the meanwhile, as time passed, things progressed exactly as I might have foretold.
Charles!
Oh, what is it, Van?
You're not going off and leaving me like this?
Well, good Lord, it's only for the day. I can't let old Gookie down. The pheasant are running, and we always shoot over our land together.
Why can't I go with you?
Oh, don't be silly, Van, my dear. Hunting is men's business. No place for a woman. I'll be back by twilight.
And leave me alone again all day?
Not alone. You'll have Meg around for company.
It isn't working that way, Charles. I'm afraid... I don't think Meg likes me.
Oh, what nonsense. Meg's a bit stiff and formal, that's all. You'll break her down. Now, don't hold me up, darling. Can't keep Gookie waiting.
Just like Brenda. The woman, I should say the girl, just didn't fit in with our sort at all.
That's the last of the draperies, your ladyship. Where shall I have them took?
What on earth's going on
Oh,
here?
just a moment, Meg. Right up to my bedroom suite, Giles.
Oh, yes, your ladyship.
I asked you a question,
Oh, I'm
Van.
sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. I'm going to do over our bedroom, for a start, anyway.
Do over the bedroom. But it's full of family heirlooms.
Excuse me. You can start taking them up, Giles.
Yes, your ladyship.
See, that's just the trouble, Meg.
What?
Well, they are heirlooms, and I'm sorry, but they loom over me. I'm trying to shake off all the cobwebs I've been fighting against. I don't want a past. I want the future for myself and for Charles. Oh, I know that heavy old furniture and those musty old drapes are tradition, but they depress me, and I want it to be light and airy. So please try to understand.
Oh, I understand, my dear. Of course I understand. This was just the beginning. First the drapes, then the furniture, then me. Relics of the past to be thrown aside. Well, I had no intention of being cast aside, but I had to bide my time. So I concealed my feelings, and I waited.
You know, Van, darling, I've been thinking, and I do owe you an apology.
You do? Why?
Oh, about the hunting thing and other stuff. I've been neglecting you, I suddenly realized, and I never meant to.
Oh, darling, I do miss you, but I can't take up all your time. It's only that, well, while we're on a sort of honeymoon...
Yes, I know. I tell you what, why don't we run up to London for a little trip?
Oh, I'd love it. And while we're there, we'll go on a real shopping spree.
Yes, anything you say.
You know what I want to do?
What?
The whole house. Refurnish it. Let some light and fresh air in. Would you mind?
Oh, not I, but...
Meg. I'm afraid she won't be very happy about it.
Oh, she'll come around, and if she doesn't, we'll pack her off on a jaunt to the continent or around the world or something. Matter of fact, if we have to, we'll just move her out altogether. It's just you and I from now on that come first.
I'm not ashamed to say that I was eavesdropping every bit of that conversation from behind the hedge in the rose garden. But how dare they? Change Drayton Hall. Cast me out. Oh, no, never. You'll go first, Lady Misfit. I can't understand how Charles can stand to have you around to remind him of... But then, it isn't quite the same. But how can I move unless I have her to myself? And then suddenly, by the most tremendous stroke of luck, it was all arranged.
Hello? Yes, this is he. What? Good Lord. Oh, Mrs. Chatham, I am sorry. I'm devastated. What can I do? Oh, yes, of course. No. I wouldn't have it any other way. One of the best friends I ever... Look, I'll drive up right away and stay through the funeral. Yes, only too glad to be of help.
What is it, darling?
Something happened to Reggie?
He's dead. Heart attack. Just like that. His mother is in an absolute state. Can't take hold. Look, I'll throw some clothes in a bag and go there right away.
I'll go with you.
What? Oh, no, dear. Wouldn't work. Under the circumstances, much better I go alone. You will excuse me, won't you?
And now I had her to myself. As soon as she was safely in her bed that first night, I started the water dripping. Not for long, just long enough to find out if it would waken her, and she'd hear it.
I don't want to be alone again. Charles, Charles, I love you so. All right with you here, but when you're away... What's that? What's that sound? You're sure you didn't hear it, Meg?
Not a sound, darling.
It's a loose faucet or something, maybe in the plumbing. It's a strange sound, and
Don't
it just
you worry. We'll have Giles get rid of it. Matter of fact, why don't we stroll down to the lake right now?
What's he doing down there?
He's installing a little present from me to you.
Present?
Yes, a light, so you can illuminate your favorite waterfall and the local legend.
The Lady of the Mist. Oh, I'd forgotten about her. Yes, let's get out into the air and listen to some pleasant-sounding water. And maybe you could tell me the legend about her?
Delighted to, dear. And Giles can add his own embroideries. He makes it quite an adventure, like listening to a ghost story on a windy night when one was a child. I had to move fast. Hadn't much time. And I could see my way to removing Vanessa from my life and hers.
Charming English gentlewoman, Meg Drake, isn't she? And it's becoming quite clear in her genteel way, mad. Mad as a hatter. But does she really think in a few days she can drive Vanessa mad? Or what is the way that is quite clear to her? I'll return shortly with Act 3. So here we go with Meg leading Vanessa down the garden walk, in more ways than one. And now, the closer we come to the waterfall, which looks so charming at a distance, and whose gentle sound is muted and not heard at the manor, a different picture of it emerges. The terrain is lovely, the soft screen of water that falls a truly beautiful curtain of mist, and the lake stretching beyond, smooth as glass. But right beneath the rock, where the water falls, is a pool that spins in a quite terrifying counterclockwise whirl, creating a deep bowl with a hole at the bottom that seems to suck everything away into infinity.
I like it better from a distance. It's a little shivery close up, especially that evil-looking swirl of water in the pool. It's like some huge drain. What is it?
Oh, that'd be the entrance to the cave, or the other world, like where she lives.
He means the Lady of the Mist.
Oh, what is her story, anyway?
Oh, she was some poor lady in the Middle Ages, the lady of the old castle which used to stand where the manor house is now.
Built on some of the old foundations is the manor.
Possible. At all events, men being what they are, Milady's husband lost interest in her for some other woman, or more than one, and one night she came out, just as dusk was falling, and threw herself into the pool.
Committed suicide?
Oh, anything falls in that pool gets sucked down out of sight. Shaft there seems to have no bottom.
She doesn't want their bodies, you see, only their souls.
But what for?
To keep her company on the other side, wherever she lives between heaven and hell. They say she puts the water madness on them.
And when that happens, no matter how strong a fence you build, you can't keep the animals in. No holding them when they hear the sound of water in their heads that draws them here.
The sound of water in their heads. Oh, I'm kind of sorry now I got this close to it at all.
Had to happen sooner or later. Best to have things out in the open. Oh, by the way, Giles, her ladyship thought she heard some sort of water noise in the house last night. Any idea what it could be?
Why, no, Mum. You know, we checked everything out before Sir Charles and her ladyship came back. Oh, unless...
Have another look and see, will you?
Yes. Did you hear it, too?
No, not a sound. What's the matter, Giles?
Oh, nothing, Mum. I was just remembering what you told me about the First Lady.
That'll be quite enough. On you go back to the house, child. Her ladyship and I will follow.
Oh, yes, Mom.
Shall we get away from here? It's damp and dreary.
Yes, let's. It's out of the sun. I can feel a chill in my bones. Meg, what was it that Giles started to say about the First Lady Drayton?
The first?
I mean, Brenda. You cut him off, didn't you?
Did I? I don't know that I meant to. Why would I?
You're hiding something from me, Meg.
Oh, dear. I'm not a very good dissembler, but I'd rather you ask Charles about it.
Charles isn't here. Anyway, he said she died of pneumonia, didn't she?
Well, Van, dearest, it was just a little... Oh, you might say white lie. He just wanted to save your feelings.
Save my feelings? About what? Oh, she was found in the lake.
Well, yes. She fell off the rock. Oh, dear, I didn't want you to know. Charles will be very annoyed with me.
It was an accident?
Well, now it's out, I suppose you might as well know all the way. It was suicide. Both Giles and I saw her, but were too late to stop her.
Oh, how awful. But why? Why?
I think we've talked enough about it.
If you don't tell me, I'll get it from Giles.
It's a silly theory. He thinks his Lady of the Mist resents anyone who tries to take her place as the Lady of the Manor.
Why? Did every one of them drown?
I have no idea. You see, the manor was empty for years until Charles and I reopened it. Everything's changed now. You certainly haven't a thing in the world to worry about. Everything was ticking along like clockwork. Or better still, like a jigsaw puzzle. The pattern was being built to create the picture I needed. I did some things that night. Took the telephone receiver on the maid's floor hall off the hook so Charles couldn't get through if he tried to call. When I turned the tap on, I left it running most of the night. Good morning, Vanessa. What's the matter? Didn't you sleep well?
Oh, Meg, I had the most awful night.
Whatever is the matter? Here, let me get you some tea.
I've been up all night.
You couldn't sleep. Why?
Well, first of all, I was expecting Charles to call me. And I waited and I waited. I just don't understand why he didn't call.
Well, maybe he will today. Is that what kept you up all night?
No. Charles didn't find out what was wrong, did he? What that leak was?
No, my dear. He couldn't find a thing. Don't tell me you heard it again.
It started about 1 o'clock, and it lasted most of the night. You didn't hear it?
No, I didn't hear a thing, and I'm a very light sleep. Is it still going on now?
No. It stopped about an hour ago, just as mysteriously as it began. Oh, and there's another thing, Meg.
Yes, dear.
It was kind of you about the light.
Light?
On the waterfall, but I think maybe if you wouldn't mind, I'd rather...
Oh, Van, dear, what is it? You must tell me.
Well, I was so restless with that Chinese water torture going on. And I could see the light was on. And I went to the window and...
And what?
Well, I know it's just autosuggestion or whatever you call it, but I could swear I saw a woman in white behind the spray, and I even thought I heard her voice. What's the matter with me? Oh, Meg. I feel I'm coming all unglued just the way I did after Mom and Pop.
Now that settles it. I think we ought to have Dr. Vickers over to look at you.
No, please, I don't want... I don't need a strange doctor. I'll be all right. All I need is some sleep.
Oh, it was all working deliciously. The timing was going to be perfect, and this time I was going to be quite safe. It had been very risky with Brenda. I made the tea, dosing it carefully. carried it up to the hall table, nipped up to the next floor and started the tap again, and put the phone back on the hook. Not asleep. Here's the nice cup of tea I promised you.
Asleep? With that awful, unending, relentless noise.
What noise, dear?
You mean you can't hear it?
You don't mean the water sound?
It's driving me mad. Can't we stop it?
But, darling, there's nothing to stop. Whatever it is, it's all in your... Well, I shouldn't put it that way. You must have an inner ear infection or something. Now, really, this time I insist. I am going to call Dr. Vickers.
Yes. Maybe it better. At least maybe he can give me a sedative.
Yes, now in the meantime, you must drink your tea.
Don't you hear it?
Darling, why wouldn't I tell you if I did? Why wouldn't I tell her, indeed? Oh, everything was going just splendidly. She drank her tea obediently, not realizing she was getting another nice jolt to keep her on the ragged edge. Then I called the doctor. On the way down to let him in, I turned off the tap, of course.
Very sensitive, very highly strung young lady. She doesn't take any kind of medicine, does she?
Oh, no, Dr. Vickers, not now, anyway.
What do you mean, not now, Miss Drayton?
I told you about her parents, how protected she'd been, and that she'd been under psychiatric care for several years.
Oh, yes, possibly. There is a slight dilation of the pupils, but then she's under such a strain that
A very unstable girl.
You think this girl might be suicidal?
It's what terrifies me.
Well, I've given her a sedative and she should rest now. I'll look in again after supper. She should be watched very closely, very closely. I don't think she should be left alone for a moment, just in case.
I could promise him that, all right, silly old dodderer. This time I knew I had him locked up as my witness, if I needed him. Now all I had to do was wait for dusk and hope the last act would play itself as perfectly. Vanessa, what are you doing up?
I wanted to call Charles, but something seems to be wrong with the phone.
It's always acting up in the country.
But maybe he's been trying to get in touch with me. Oh, can't we go to the village and phone?
But Charles took the car.
Isn't there a carriage? Or could we go by horse?
I wouldn't think of it. It's much too far in your condition, but Giles has a phone. I could go over there.
Oh, no, I don't want to be left alone in the house.
Well, if you feel up to it, dear, it isn't far. You would come along and make the call yourself.
Oh, yes. Oh, please. Please take me. I'm sorry I'm so slow, Meg. I just feel so dizzy and weak. It's so dark.
Don't worry, my little one. You'll soon be at rest. What are you stopping for? Come along.
All right, Meg. Isn't that the waterfall?
Of course. We have to go over the path across to the top to get to Giles.
I don't want to go. Wait, I don't want to go that way.
It's the only way for you to go. The only way you have to go.
Meg, you're hurting me.
Don't worry. You soon won't ever hurt again. Just like Brenda, only this time easier.
What are you doing?
Sending you to join your Lady of the Mist. Won't it be sad when you turn up days later drowned?
You must be mad. You're mad.
No, you are the mad one. Going to be a suicide just like Dr. Vickers was afraid you might.
No!
Meg, in heaven's name, are you out of your mind?
Charles, how could...
Let me go.
No!
Diane, what's going on? Darling.
When did you get back here?
I've been trying to reach you since yesterday. I was frantic when I couldn't get through and you didn't call me, so I drove back. When I found the house empty, I went running over to Giles, half crazy, wondering what had taken place. And then I just saw you.
But why didn't you phone at Giles?
Darling, Giles doesn't have a phone.
Oh, She lied about that, too. Everything must have been a lie.
No, calm down. What was a lie? What are you talking about?
Meg! She was trying to kill me. Throw me over into the lake. Just as she must have done with your first wife.
Meg? But where is she?
It's too late. When you called out, you distracted her. I was trying to break free, but she lost her balance and she... Maybe we can help.
No. If she went over, no one can help her. And from what you're telling me, nobody should. Poor Meg. She must have been mad as a March hare. Oh, Van, darling. I suppose after this, you won't want anything to do with the Draytons.
Oh, darling, I am a Drayton. I just want you to promise me one thing.
What?
Don't ever, please, don't just ever leave me again.
Meg's body never did turn up. Perhaps just as well. And Charles never did leave Vanessa alone from then on. Well, let's be sensible. After the crisis was over, no two sensible people take a statement like that literally. What both of them did leave alone was Drayton Manor. Forever. Under the same circumstances, what two sensible people wouldn't? I'll be back shortly. Bit by bit, agonizingly, Van and Charles eventually pieced the story together as we know it. A sad story. Few people would go so far as Margaret Drayton just to preserve the status quo, the way things are. But that is life's great illusion. Because the status quo doesn't exist. Life is the process of constant change. The business of learning how to make the most out of life is to learn that to begin with. Our cast included Rosemary Murphy, William Redfield, Marion Seldes, and Ian Martin. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams. E.G. Marshall. And fasten your seatbelt for a breathtaking journey into the vast, mysterious, hidden recesses of your own imagination. Men who have a reputation for telling the truth are universally respected and admired. But on closer examination, you're apt to discover that they have been showered with accolades after they died. What the habitual truth-teller is usually showered with during his lifetime is most often abuse. And it's understandable. In many cases, to tell the truth is to rock the boat. And why do that? Especially when the boat is warm and dry, while the water is cold and wet. Our mystery drama,
A Preview of Death was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Sam Dan and stars Russell Horton. Fantasy has become a most saleable item, and you can buy just about any fantasy you want. There are places that create the illusion of tropical jungles, complete with roaming animals. You can roam through realistic replicas of the past and relive the lives of earlier Americans. There are enchanted presentations of the magic world of fairy tales. And we are about to regale you with Helvetia. Helvetia, high in the Rocky Mountains, is a faithful reproduction of a tiny Swiss village. The young ladies who work there look like Heidi. The men know how to yodel. And there are chalets and cheeses and wonderful skiing. Indeed, everything you would expect to find in a Swiss resort. There is even a cable car suspended high above the valley. And we're about to get on board.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Now, you don't have to worry about your baggage or your skis. Everything will be taken off the bus and delivered to your chalet. And once we get you transported to Helvetia, the cable car will come back for your things. All right, now step aboard, please. Folks, you don't want to be late for dinner. This way, please. All right, there's a seat for everyone. Just step inside. Now, madam, you're really going to enjoy this. Once you tried it, you'll never be able to get enough. Oh, Jerry, is this it? 12? Okay, button her up. Okay, folks, we're off. And now, folks, welcome to Helvetia, a magic Swiss village in the good old USA. Those of you on the left side of the car can see fantastic Helvetia nestling in the valley just at the foot of that great peak which we call William Tell Mountain. Now, this cable car is the only means of entering or leaving. We will travel for approximately 1.5 miles suspended above the ground. And we are now at our greatest altitude, 7,436 feet.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, I am often asked, what would we do if the cable breaks? I don't know what you would do, folks, but I'd scream. Seriously, folks, there is absolutely no chance of that cable breaking or of any other kind of accident whatsoever. Why, this cable car is a triumph of modern science. Here we are, folks. In Helvetia, safe and sound.
Isn't that?
All right, thank you, folks. Step lively now, you'll miss dinner.
Hello, Duke.
What do you say, Elwood?
Going back?
Right now.
Glad I caught you.
Why, you leaving town?
No, it's time to inspect the car.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, throw her into gear. Let's go.
Well, you don't have to go. Here, let me take the card from behind the glass, and you can just initial it.
I'll initial it after the inspection, huh?
Look, Elwood, look, you're new on the job.
That's why I want to do it right.
Yeah, well, old man Farrah, he's been a county engineer since maybe the year 1. Before he got pensioned off, he just used to initial the card every month.
He did?
Yeah, after all, what could be wrong with the car?
Well, that's why the law requires a periodic inspection to find out.
Okay, Elwood. Be my guest.
Duke, you notice an increase in vibration?
No. She'd be the same as always.
It just seems to me that...
Well, I ought to know. I ride her all the time.
Well, we'll see.
Elwood, are you trying to suggest that maybe there could be something wrong?
It's possible.
What? What'd you say?
You asked me, I told you.
Yeah, but... Well, what could be wrong? We're forever checking on the car, the cable, the machinery. I mean, you name it, we do it. This car, it's our bread and butter.
No, it has nothing to do with the car or the cable or the machinery.
What can you be talking about?
The mountain.
The mountain? What do you mean, the mountain? How can something be wrong with a mountain?
Hi, Elwood. Had your dinner?
Sure.
What a mob. We're completely sold out.
Business is good.
Oh, I tell you, Elwood, we none of us ever dreamed we could make such a go of this place. Look at this stack of reservations. Where are we going to put all these people? You going to spend the night, Elwood?
If it's convenient.
How could it be inconvenient?
I do have to be at Saddler's Falls before noon tomorrow.
Oh, George isn't here. He's in Denver on business. But he's taking the first plane out. He'll want to see you first thing.
All right.
I hope you don't mind me coming up to your room.
Seems like old times. After all, when I was little, the day couldn't officially end until Big Sister came up to say goodnight.
Well, it's the only quiet place in the hotel. I have to work on these reservations.
You want me to help you?
Yeah, grab a handful. You separate them into single girls, single guys, couples, families.
Sure.
Oh, Elwood, George said to make sure you wouldn't leave till he speaks to you.
Okay.
He had a phone call from Duke, and Duke was very upset.
Yeah, I know.
What's it about?
You know, the inspection certificate on the cable car.
Oh?
And I have to sign it.
So?
I inspected the car today, and I didn't sign it.
You didn't?
I couldn't.
But if there's something wrong with the car, we can get it fixed.
No, it can't be fixed.
Let me get this straight. Are you telling me that you won't sign that inspection certificate no-how?
Yes, I guess I am.
Oh, well, then that means we won't be able to use the cable car?
Yes.
But how are people going to get in and out of Helvetia?
I understand the problem.
No,
but
Elwood, I'm afraid you don't understand. George and I and the other people, we've sunk every nickel we had in the world in here, and the work, oh, Lord, the toil, the sweat, and, yes, the blood that went into making this place. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Muriel, I know what this place means to you and to everybody.
I spoke out of turn. You are, after all, an official of the government.
Just a county engineer.
You have a duty to perform. You swore an oath, and there shouldn't be any other considerations.
Muriel, I don't know what to do. I mean it. I just don't know what to do.
He's crazy, that boy. He's out of his mind.
Please, George.
I went ahead and got him that job.
George.
Well, I did. I went and put in a word for him. Without me...
That's true, but...
But what?
Well, you talk as if he's working for you.
Well, he is. He's working for me, for Helvetia.
No, he's working for the county.
Well, by God, what's the county? Helvetia's the county. What else has the county got? What else is worth a damn in the county? Muriel, we have to have that cable car. There's no two ways about it. We've got to have that cable car.
All right, George, maybe we will. After all...
After all what?
Well, he really hasn't made up his mind yet.
Well, what's there to think about?
His job, his duty, his oath of office.
Oh, come on, Muriel, don't hand me that.
Well, if the car were dangerous, would you want him to okay it?
Now, what kind of a question is that?
I think it's a legitimate question.
It's a stupid question.
Why?
Well, because it's impossible for something to be wrong with that car, with the apparatus, with any detail of the operation.
Why?
Well, you know how we worry over it, as if it were a watch. Now, where is he?
Well, he'll be down any minute. He didn't get much sleep all night. I know he's been worried.
Well, he doesn't have to be worried about anything. All he has to do is use his common sense.
George, don't say any more.
No, I hadn't even begun yet. Has this boy forgotten what he owes me? For you? Us?
That's not the issue.
No. Well, who raised the boy? You did. Who sent him to college? I did. I didn't make an engineer out of him so that he could come back here and drive me out of business, did I?
George, do something that doesn't always come easy to you. Just shut up. When he comes down, please don't discuss it.
Don't discuss it. Why do you think I got on a plane 5 o'clock this morning to get here?
But don't tell him how much you've done for him, how much he owes you.
Okay. I took a course in psychology.
Yeah, you never let me forget it.
Is this how he gets back at us?
What are you saying?
Do things for somebody and they resent it. Subconsciously, they develop an animosity towards you.
Good morning, Muriel. George.
Good morning. Bacon and eggs okay?
Fine.
Good morning, Elwood. How are tricks?
Kind of busy these days. They want to build a road at Sadler's Forks.
Yeah. County's really getting built up?
Sure is.
Pour you some coffee, Elwood?
Yeah, thanks.
Have some cream?
No, I have to lose weight.
Damn it, the Elwood. What's the big idea?
George.
What are we sitting around for like 3 bumps on a log? This whole place can become a ghost town, and everybody's investment could go right down the drain just because...
Because what, George?
Because some wet behind-the-ears kid is maybe getting a little bit drunk with power.
Can I tell you what's bothering me?
Just sign the damn certificate and nothing has to bother.
The mountain. The mountain across the valley where the cable is anchored, you know? On the plateau where the bus delivers the people?
Well, so?
That mountain. Inside that mountain, there's
what?
There's a fault.
What do you mean, a fault?
That mountain is... Well, I guess you could say it's slowly separating. It's coming apart.
But nobody ever said...
Well, it could be something new. It might have been caused by an underground atomic explosion.
But there haven't been any of those near here.
It doesn't matter. It could have been 1,000 miles away.
Well, how do you know?
But there are signs.
What kind of signs?
You remember the old abandoned silver mine?
Yeah?
Well, I noticed that some of the buildings and shafts are sinking into the ground.
Yeah, but that's on the other side of the mountain.
In a direct line. You've got other geological signs.
Yeah, but the foundation for the cable, that's like the Rock of Gibraltar.
George, I've measured the angle of declension of the cable. It's been widening.
Huh? By how much?
Well, a minute fraction, but that doesn't matter. It's proof that there is a separation.
Well, how fast?
Maybe a fraction of an inch a year.
So, 1,000,000 years from now, we can worry about it.
Now, that doesn't mean the rate can't increase rapidly without warning. I mean, it could last 100 years or forever. Or it could go tomorrow morning. It could just come apart. Collapse.
Well, all right. Never mind all that. Just tell us flat out. What are you going to do?
What is he going to do? He appears to be a dedicated public servant. On the other hand, he is a human being with intense personal debts and loyalties. He's thinking about it. And he'll have an answer when I return shortly with Act 2. Your name is Elwood Markham. You owe everything you have in the world, your life, your education, your job, to your older sister and her husband. As a public official, you must certify or condemn conveyances that transport people. There is a conveyance that serves as the foundation of your sister's business. You cannot, in good conscience, certify it as safe. If this concerned strangers, you wouldn't hesitate. However, it's your sister. Are you going to destroy her?
What would you do if I refused to sign it?
Go to the county supervisor. Enter a protest. Ask for outside experts. Hire a team of geologists.
It wouldn't help. Word would get out. Whichever way it went, the publicity would kill us.
Look,
George and I are going to leave you, Elwood. Everything's already been said. You just have to decide as you see it. Come on, George.
But
George!
Yeah.
What was I supposed to do? I walked to the window. Outside was an enchanted street. It was as if you were in another world, another country thousands of miles away. And all this was their handiwork. Of course, the cable car was unsafe, but it was only unsafe in theory. In practice, it could serve 100 years without a mishap. The odds of this cable car falling were perhaps about those of a plane crashing, a ship sinking. Certainly less than that of a car colliding. So, I knew I was going to sign that certificate. But I also knew I was being bribed. It was a subtle bribe, but bribery nevertheless. I was being bribed with their love, their companionship. Because after all, if I refused to sign, things would never really be the same between us again.
Hey there, Elwood.
Morning, Duke.
I got a call from the chalet to hold the car for you. Leaving?
Yeah.
All right, hop in. We're off. How come you're not afraid to ride this baby?
Well, why should I be afraid? It's perfectly safe.
Is it?
Yeah. Matter of fact, before I forget, let me have the card. I better sign it.
Well, yesterday afternoon, you were handing me this line.
No, the situation adjusted itself.
Now I no longer feel alone.
Well, hello.
My cab dropped me off here about 20 minutes ago. When does that cable car show up?
Oh, should be along any minute now.
Are you going to Helvetia?
No, I have a package I want to have delivered to my brother-in-law at the chalet.
Well, I understand it's a fabulous place. I was lucky to get a reservation.
I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
You know, you look familiar.
I was about to, say that about you, too.
My name is Daphne. Daphne Aldershot.
Daphne Aldershot. It's kind of a wild name.
Well, what's yours?
Elwood. Elwood Markham.
That's a very sober, serious kind of name.
Maybe it's because I'm a very sober, serious kind of person.
Oh? What do you do?
I'm an engineer.
Yes, that's kind of sober and serious.
What do you do?
I'm a librarian in Denver.
Oh. You don't look like a librarian.
Why? How are librarians supposed to look?
Oh, prim, mousy.
You really should get with it. Oh, my goodness. Am I going to go into that?
In less than 5 minutes, you'll be in Helvetia.
Oh.
Will you be staying long?
10 days.
Oh. Maybe I'll see you. I'll be there tomorrow afternoon. Tell Mrs. Lucas at the chalet that you're a friend of mine.
Okay, all aboard. Hey, Elwood, how you doing?
Can you get this package to George for me, Duke?
Sure thing, Elwood.
And, take good care of Daphne.
Oh, how you do, Daphne?
She's my fiancée.
Congratulations, Elwood. Daphne?
Elwood, darling, I'll see you very soon, won't I?
You'll see me tomorrow, darling. I'll bring a preacher with me. We'll get married.
Can I be best man?
Sure.
Okay. We're off.
Goodbye, Daphne. What's that? What's that? The mountain. The fault. It's opening. It's opening. Oh, no, it's opening.
Elwood,
No.
Elwood, help
Daphne!
me.
Daphne! Daphne! No! No! Daphne! 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 No! Daphne!
Elwood. Elwood. Boy, snap out of it. Snap out of it, Elwood.
Oh, Daphne, don't die. I love you, Daphne.
Elwood.
Daphne,
Come on, boy. Wake up. That's it.
What is...
Yeah,
Daphne.
that's it. You're out of it now. Oh, man. You have the great granddaddy of all nightmares. I mean, we heard you across the hall in our room you're in.
Was it a dream?
Oh, was it ever? You sure scared the daylights out of me.
Daphne.
You've been holding out on us, boy? Who's Daphne?
Oh, it seems so real.
You want Muriel to get you something to drink, maybe?
Look, I was standing at the cable car platform, and there she was.
Who?
Daphne.
Well, that's what I mean. Who's Daphne?
I don't know.
Oh, now, how could you dream about a girl you don't know?
Dark hair, blue eyes.
Mm-hmm. I was always partial to that type myself.
She was beautiful. It was so real, and we stood at the platform, and I put her in the car, and
Yes.
in the car, just the mountainside. It started to give way. The fall.
Oh, Elwood, it's a bad dream. That's all. Just a bad dream.
Yeah, just a bad dream.
Well, how's everything now?
Oh, it was just a nightmare.
Oh, how about something warm to drink?
No, I'll be fine.
What was it about, Elwood?
He was dreaming about a girl.
Oh, could a girl cause you that much grief?
No, I was dreaming about the mountain.
What about the mountain?
Just came apart.
Oh, Elwood. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right.
No, it isn't all right.
Don't worry about it.
What about the girl?
I never saw her before.
What's everybody getting so excited about a simple nightmare? Well, I'm going back to bed. You coming, Muriel?
In a minute. Elwood, I'm worried about you.
I'll be okay.
You shouldn't have signed that safety certificate.
Oh, come on. It's all right to be Don Quixote on the stage, but in real life...
But you are Don Quixote. You always were.
I can get over it.
And George and me, well, maybe our motives for getting you the job of county engineer weren't exactly the purest in the world.
Muriel, what are you saying?
Oh, maybe unconsciously we wanted to have our own man in office so we wouldn't be bothered with all the official inspections.
Muriel, I won't believe that you could have such a motive.
Well, as I say, it wasn't a conscious one. Anyhow, it's all so complicated, isn't it? Look, next month, don't sign the certificate.
No, I've already fought that battle. It's over.
Well, then resign.
It is over, Muriel. I had this crazy nightmare. I conjured up this girl out of nowhere. But why? Why did she seem so real? And that name.
What name?
Her name. Where would I ever hear it before?
Well, I'll let you get back to sleep.
Yeah. That nightmare sure knocked me out. I think I could sleep for a week.
Well, you better get up early. You have to be in Denver for lunch.
What?
Oh, I must have forgotten to tell you. Your boss called. There's a luncheon meeting of the municipal engineers. He can't make it, and you're to go in his place.
Oh.
Is it really that much of a bore?
Denver. I wonder if...
If what?
If she really works in the library.
Who?
No, it's crazy.
What are you talking about?
On the other hand, suppose there is such a girl. Just suppose. All corn, Alden, Alder, Aldershot. Daphne Aldershot. It just can't be. It just can't be. Huh. But why not? Okay, so it is. But what am I going to say to her?
Hello? Hello?
Is this Daphne Aldershot?
Yes.
Miss Daphne Aldershot?
Yes. Who are you?
Are you, the Daphne Aldershot who's a librarian?
Yes. Who is this?
You don't know me.
And I don't think I want to.
Hey, please, don't hang up.
Why not?
Just answer one question. Have you any plans, do you expect to go to Helvetia?
What business would that be of course.
I have to know.
Why?
Now, look, I'm not a kook or a crank.
Well, I find that hard to believe.
Just, look, please, tell me if you plan to go to Helvetia.
And suppose I do. Then what?
Don't. Please. For your own good. Don't go.
Well, believe it or not, there is a Daphne Aldershot, and she is a librarian, and she is coming to Helvetia. Is Elwood Markham a man who can see into the future? Well, so far, his forward vision seems to be 2020. But we can check it further when I return shortly with Act 3. Elwood Markham keeps having nightmares. In his nightmares, a girl he never even heard of steps into the overhead cable car that transports visitors to the enchanting resort called Helvetia. The car falls and she gets killed. But now, he has a real problem. It seems that this girl exists, and she intends to come to Helvetia, and she will have to get into that cable car.
No. Daphne! Daphne, darling! Daphne, please! Daphne!
And who is Daphne?
I'm having this nightmare.
Oh, we could hear you all over the place.
I'm having it all the time now.
Well, who's Daphne?
The girl who gets killed.
What?
She's a girl named Daphne Aldershot.
Yes?
Yeah, and she's coming to Helvetia. And I meet her at the cable car terminal at the mountainside, and we fall in love. How would I know she's coming here? To Helvetia, how would I know?
Well, who says she exists? She's part of your nightmare.
Listen. Last week, I was in Denver, remember?
Yes?
Yep, her name. Daphne Aldershot. It's in the book.
Well, all kinds of names are in the book.
And I spoke to her on the phone.
Now, just a minute, Elwood. Are you sure?
I'm sure. I called her number. She answered, and she is coming here. To Helvetia. She said so.
Well, let's check it out. Ginny, get me Greta at the reservation desk. Thanks.
It is not my imagination.
Greta, do we have a reservation for, Daphne Aldershot?
She said she was planning to...
We do.
Find out when.
This, Miss Aldershot, when is she arriving? Friday night?
Find out what time. What time?
What time? 9 o'clock. Thank you, Greta.
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Don't you see?
What?
The first time I saw her in my dream, she was alone at the terminal. Now, that's because she got here late.
Elwood, there must be some kind of explanation.
I dreamed there was a girl named Daphne Aldershot. I dreamed she was killed when the cable car fell. It turns out there is a girl named Daphne Aldershot. It happens she's coming to Helvetia. So?
Elwood, it could all be,
How would I know? How would I know?
Maybe you better,
Better what? See a doctor? You think I'm crazy?
No, you're just tired, emotionally exhausted.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I've got 4 days. I have to stop her.
May I help you?
I wasn't looking for a book.
No? Then what are you doing in a library?
I'm looking for you.
Really?
Yeah, I'm the one who called you on the phone.
Yes?
Yeah, I tried to tell you not to go to Helvetia.
You're the nut.
No, now I assure you, I am sane. That is, I'm as sane as any normal person, which I admit isn't saying very much.
Yeah, well, sir, I'm busy, and I just don't have time
Can we go somewhere and talk?
I don't think so. As a matter of fact, there's a security guard over by the door.
You wouldn't call him?
What makes you think so?
Aren't you even the least bit curious? Look, my name is Elwood Markham. I'm an engineer. I'm county engineer over in Custer County, and, look, you could check it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's 12 o'clock. You have to have lunch.
I bring a sandwich.
There's a place just around the corner. Now, What could happen to you?
That's just what I'm afraid of. Nothing.
You don't really want to go to Helvetia.
But I do. I've been saving my money for almost 2 years.
The place is a phony. I should know. My sister and brother-in-law, they run the biggest chalet there, and it's just, you know, it's imitation.
Well, I hear it's fabulous.
Take it from me. You won't like it. In the first place, there's about 5 girls every guy.
Is that so?
Oh, yes, it's a fact.
Well, will you be there?
Daphne,
You know, you are cute. I mean, you're so serious.
I'm trying to tell you...
I never met anybody who's as serious as you. I mean, serious and a little crazy at the same time. Now, you tell me why I shouldn't go to Helvetia.
Well, you will think I'm crazy now. Wait till you hear the real reason.
I'm waiting.
I dreamed about you.
Well, now, when?
Oh, 2 weeks ago.
But how could you? You didn't even know me.
You and I met at the terminal where the cable car takes off for Helvetia.
Oh, I've heard that is the most exciting part of the whole...
And we fell in love.
Now, don't rush me. Wait a minute.
and you got on the car, and the car took off, and there was a rock slide, and the cable car broke loose, and the car fell, and you were killed.
Oh, wow! Oh, what any good psychiatrist would make out of that. So that's why you don't want me to go to Helvetia?
Yes.
Well, I must say, I've read a lot.
Before you say anything, remember what I told you about my job?
What is your job?
I said I was county engineer, and I have to inspect that car, right, for safety?
Yes, well?
Well, it is not safe.
Oh, well, then that takes care of that. The car won't be allowed to run, and I won't be killed, and there's no problem.
No, there is a problem. I okayed the car.
But if it isn't safe, why did you?
Because it's so complicated, and safe is a relative situation. Daphne, please, don't go. Don't.
It's been nice meeting you, Elwood, and I would like to get to know you better. But you're just too deep, too involved, I don't know. Maybe if you could get yourself straightened out,
Daphne, you can't go to Helvetia Friday night. I am going to stop you.
How can you stop me?
Excuse me, Elwood. County Engineering Office, Tracy. Yeah? I'll put Elwood on it. Right. Talk of the road being washed away.
On the other side of the mountain where the cable car terminal is.
How'd you know?
It's part of what I'm trying to tell you, Mr. Tracy.
Elwood, I just can't condemn the cable car without giving the folks at Helvetia notice.
But look, this is an emergency.
2 weeks ago, you certified the car as safe. Now, what's come up so sudden?
It hasn't been sudden. I've known about it for months.
Well, then why didn't you...
Well, because
of Muriel and George?
Yeah, it's part of it. Maybe.
We've lived with geological faults, Elwood.
Yeah, sure, but a heavy rain, unusual amount of snow, any one of 100 subterranean disturbances in that whole side of the mountain...
Okay, let's do a study.
No, that will take weeks, months. It could go any time.
And it could never go at all. Elwood, now here's what you have to do. Next time you inspect it, in 2 weeks, condemn it. Give me a full report, request an investigation, and we'll bring in the experts.
And they'll only disagree among themselves, and nothing will happen.
Elwood, it was your job to withhold the safety certificate.
I know, Mr. Tracy.
Well, once again, put it in writing.
By that time, it'll be too late.
Too late for what?
Can't anybody believe me?
Hi, Elwood. Want some coffee?
No, thanks.
Where you been the past few days?
Muriel, do something for me.
Okay.
Miss Daphne Aldershot.
Oh?
You know, she's due here tomorrow evening.
And?
Call her. Send her a wire, anything. Tell her you had to cancel her reservation.
Why should I do that?
Because I ask you to.
Oh, I really can't do that, Elwood.
You own the place. You and George, you can do anything you like.
Well, not really. Miss Aldershot sent us a deposit. We confirmed her reservation. We can't just cancel her.
What's to stop you?
Well, first, it's unethical. Second, it's illegal. She could sue us.
Let her.
She could win.
Let her. I'll pay the damages. You won't lose anything.
Elwood, please. What is this?
I told you she is going to be killed tomorrow night.
Elwood.
No, Muriel. I know I'm not talking like an engineer, like a practical, down-to-earth facts and figures man, but the truth is, I don't know. I've had a vision. Muriel, somehow, some way, I was given a glimpse into the future. How else would I know about a girl named Daphne Aldershot?
These things are just,
Yes, they're just what?
Wait a minute. You say there was no way you could ever hear of Daphne?
That's right.
But there is. There was.
What? What are you talking about?
That night, 2 weeks ago, you were feeling bad about the inspection.
Yeah.
I came up to your room, and I happened to have a stack of reservations. You offered to help sort them out. That's where you could have seen her name.
Oh, I don't remember any of those names. None of them made an impression on me.
Well, not consciously, but that name, that sort of unusual name, Daphne Aldershot.
It's impossible.
Only because you refused to admit it. And then you had a guilty conscience about the inspection. And the two things spun around in your mind.
No. That couldn't happen.
You wanted to punish yourself, so you fell in love with a girl named Daphne Aldershot, only to have her die because of your neglect of duty.
How would I know? She's a librarian.
She listed her job on the reservation. Now, do you understand? It's all right. Everything's all right.
No, it is not. I have to save her.
Well, hello. Look who's here. I was beginning to think I was all alone in the world.
Daphne, do you realize that's what you said when I first met you? In a dream?
My cab driver dropped me off here about 20 minutes ago. When did the cable car arrive?
You decided to come, after all.
Elwood, what am I going to do about you?
You could listen to me.
That's something I must never do. But otherwise, we'll get along okay.
Daphne, can't you ever be serious?
I am serious. I saw you for the first time, and I said, poor Daphne. Of all the guys. Well, I'll try to make the best of it. Oh, hey, look. Here it comes.
Daphne, let's get out of here.
Why?
Well, haven't I been telling you why? Don't you feel it?
What?
Feel it, the vibration, that vibration under your feet.
I don't feel anything.
All aboard. Hey, Elwood.
Can't you hear it?
Hear what?
That rumbling.
No, I don't hear anything.
Duke, get out of the car.
Elwood, what's fighting you?
There's a slide.
Well, I don't hear anything.
I said get out of there.
Elwood, take your hands off me.
Why did you hit him?
Help me. Help me get him out of there.
What's that?
I told you. Come on, let's drag him back. Back as far as we can go.
Elwood, we're going to get killed.
Hurry up.
No,
Hurry up. Come on, maybe we can get back far enough.
I'm
Quick, come on. Here's the place over here. The earth is cracking over here. Before we do it, come on. Come on, we can do it. Come on, Daphne. Daphne, pull yourself. Daphne, come on, Daphne.
And they did it. They just managed to scramble to safety as the piece of the mountain that held the cable anchor fell away. Happily, though, it didn't spell the end for Elwood and Daphne. It was a beginning. For Helvetia, it was a continuation. They flew the people in by helicopter. and the place is doing better than ever. Whether or not you decide to make a reservation to go there, remember your daily reservation with us here. Can you see into the future? There are several schools of opinion. However, the best way to answer that question is to ask, what is the future? Isn't the future, after all, the fabric we weave out of the strands of the present? So, if you know all the strands, all the threads, and all the stitches, why is it impossible to foresee the design? We'll have another terrifyingly delightful design for you next time. Our cast included Russell Horton, Stats Cotsworth, Clarice Blackburn, Robert Dryden, and Marion Seldes.
This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams. I'm E.G. Marshall. Man is beset with irrational fears called phobias, excessive persistent terror of a particular thing or situation. This morbid fear has no reasonable cause, and therefore cannot be eliminated or even modified by reasoning with its victim. One of the most common phobias takes its name from the Latin claustrum, meaning a closed place. Thus, claustrophobia is an abnormal dread of being kept in a confined space, unable to leave it. Mona Clayton, Broadway's star, is so afflicted. Our mystery drama, Who Has Seen the Wind, was especially written for the Mystery Theater by Nancy Moore and stars Michael Tolan and Terry Keane. The lot of an actor's agent seems an enviable one. All those dazzling actresses for clients. A constellation of stars to set on their courses. Take Gary Stewart. He recently married one of those actresses, Kitty Lockwood. And soon he will try to set on her course another client, Mona Clayton, who is about to receive a coveted British award. We're in New York. All night, snow has fallen. The city this early morning is chastely white, unspoiled by sludge, smudge, and people. In Gary Stewart's Park Avenue apartment, a sudden rude sound.
Who the devil?
What time is it, Gary?
How do I know? Turn on the light.
6 o'clock. What maniac would call it 6?
Answer the thing, Kitty.
You answered him. I'm asleep.
Kitty, the phone's on your side.
All right. Hello?
Oh, thank heaven.
Mona?
Kitty, darling, I'm terribly sorry to wake you, but
You're up in an airplane. You're on your way to... Are you calling from the plane?
No, that's not until 8 o'clock. And unless you or Gary come over here this minute, I won't be on the plane.
Come over? What are you talking about?
Most absurd thing is... Bobo, do stop whimpering. Kitty, Bobo's so nervous he knows something's wrong. Well, wait, I want to pick him up.
Yeah, muzzle him while you're at it.
Oh, dear, I can't reach him. Oh, hold on, will you, Kitty? Just hold on.
I'm holding. Oh, honestly, Gary, 6 o'clock.
What's going on?
She's picking up that little beast of a poodle so he won't yap into the phone.
I mean, why did she call?
I don't know. She's just babbled so far. Something about she wants us over there.
Over? We were there last night. She's supposed to be on her way to London. Something's going wrong, huh?
I gather. Something about she can't catch the plane unless we... I don't know. Lean in and listen.
Kitty, are you there?
I'm here. Now, what is this all about?
Oh, Bobo's all nerves. He catches it from me. He ran under the bed. That's why I was so long.
Mona, I have had exactly no sleep. Now, what is this about?
Come over to my apartment and bring the set of keys I gave you.
Those keys are so I can water your plants. Water them now?
Do stop making jokes when everything is so terrible. Will you just come? You or Gary or both. But the most ridiculous thing happened. See, I set my alarm for 5:45. My service had a wake-up call, but I never trust them. Well, the alarm rang, and the phone rang, too.
Yes, splendid. So did ours.
Well, I got up. I got right up. I went to the door, my bedroom door, and my dear, it would not open.
So?
Don't you see? I can't get out of my bedroom. I cannot open the door. It is stuck.
Mona, for heaven's sake, stop being so helpless. Doors in $2,000 a month penthouses do not get stuck.
But it is.
Well, so maybe it's a little bit stuck. With the slightest effort on your part.
I tried, and I pulled, and I pulled. It is stuck. Kitty, it will not open.
Kit, I noticed it last night. It really was sticky.
Is that Gary? What's he saying?
More to the point, what are you saying?
Will one of you come over here before I lose my mind? The wretched door opens inward. If you push and I pull, it'll open.
Give me the phone.
Mona, here's Gary.
Oh, Gary?
Mona, now listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
All you need to do is phone your night porter. He'll get the pass keys and he'll help you...
No, there isn't any night porter or day porter or super or anything.
Oh, Lord, I forgot the maintenance strike.
So will you come, Gary, please? And hurry. I can't stand this much longer. The walls, they just come. Hurry.
Now, wait. Now, listen. You can yell out the window, help, lady in distress. Get somebody's attention and tell them to go to security. Security can get the keys from...
There is no security either. Anyhow, I can't yell and get any attention. I'm too high up and I am on a court.
Oh, you had to live in a penthouse.
Oh, Bo, don't cry, darling. Gary is coming right away. Gary?
That's right. Don't cry, darling. Gary is coming right away.
Oh, you're sweet. You are so sweet. Oh, but I'll miss my plane. I know I will. And I won't get my British award.
Yes, you will. Now, look, you be ready, coated, hatted, booted, and I'll have a taxi waiting.
And don't say take a later plane, because they're having that huge award reception, and the time can't be changed, and I won't...
Mona, hang up. Oh, she is the most Oh, well. Oh, I hate to leave this warm nest and go out into that cold, cold world.
Then don't.
Don't go? Leave Mona like that?
Leave my closest friend, my award-winning claustrophobic closest friend, locked up like a felon? Sweetheart, my love, I am not saying that. Of course I'm not. I am saying I'll go and you can nestle snug in your bed.
You're kidding.
Get back in and I will get out. I don't mind. Really, honestly, I don't. Oh, I mind. Mona never should have closed a dumb door she knew would stick, but since somebody has to go, I don't mind.
Kit, You're being awfully slow. Mona really will miss her plane.
I guess I'm not awake yet. Where on earth is my cherries in the snow lipstick?
Snow on the ground and you have to wear an appropriate lipstick?
Aha! That'll be Guess Who. Where are you? Why aren't you here?
No, I've got it. This is Gary Stewart on a recording. Sorry I'm not home. After the beep sound, please leave your message, name, and number. I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Hush, Bobo. Beep. Gary, this is Mona. Where are you? Please, hurry. It's just awful here. On the plane, I can take tranquilizers and 2 sleeping pills, and I can sleep, and I can stand it. But here, and it's a wonder I could call you, because I told the phone company to cut off my phone, because I'll be gone for 3 months, and... Gary? Oh, it's one of those wretched recording things. Goodbye.
She bought it.
Yeah, honestly, it's a wonder she knows how to walk across the stage. Gary, how can she be such a good actress? I mean, a scatterbrain, never knows what she's doing.
That's how, by never knowing what she's doing. Brains never got in Mona's way. She's an instinctive actress.
Yeah, whatever that means. Anyhow, it's what I am not. And it's why she won the award and I didn't. Best American actress in a British play.
You're every bit as good an actress. If you'd played that juicy part, you'd have copped the award yourself. Hey, Kit, you're dawdling again.
All right. Hey, wear slacks, don't you think?
I just think hurry. Mona's hysterical.
Yeah, these nice warm red slacks. Red slacks in the snow. And why didn't I play the juicy part? Because my agent, Gary Stewart, sold Mona Clayton to the producer instead of his wife, Kitty Lockwood Stewart.
Now, Kitty.
Yes, I know. The producer wanted a teensy doll baby beauty of a Dresden China blonde, and Kitty is a tall brunette.
For the zillionth time, honey, that wasn't the reason. You're a comedian. The part called for straight drama, tragedy.
All the same, I may kill my tall, plain, dark self. What should I do? Pills, gun, gas, poison, jump? Which is best? Where are my boots?
Last night you kicked them under the bed.
Oh. Why did I ever agree to this trek through the snow at dawn?
Because you're an absolutely smashing wife.
Mona got the award, but I got Gary. Oh, my love, my only love. Tell your insecure bride for the zillionth time you're not sorry you married me instead of Mona.
Absolutely not sorry.
Want to bet?
No, gimme. This is a recording.
No, she needs to be warned you're not coming. Her big, brave Gary. Mona, I'm on my way as soon as I find my other boot.
Oh, but I thought, Gary, it's been so long. It's so terrible. The walls, they're pushing in, and Bobo wants his breakfast. Where's Gary, Kitty?
Mona, now just hang on tight. Now, I'm coming right now. Do you understand? Right now. Boy, she's on the ragged edge. I know her. I've seen her like this. I gotta get there fast. Find my other boot while I put on my coat, okay? How could she fall apart so fast?
Yes?
Mona, I just want to tell you that Kitty's on her way. She's gone from here about 5 minutes. In another 5, she'll be walking into your front door.
And opening the bedroom one?
Right. Are you dressed and ready?
Yes, I'm wearing my red suit, the one you like. Oh, you are so sweet to call.
Now, just hang on. Kitty'll be there. Hey, someone just came in our front. Look, I gotta go. I hope you catch your plane, honey. Have a nice award. Kitty.
Oh, listen, I'm just as freaky as Mona. I forgot to take her keys. Waiting for a taxi, suddenly I realized just thank the Lord I didn't go all the way to Mona.
Well, get the keys and get going, kid.
I don't even know where they are. They ought to be in my purse, but they're not. Just help me look.
Well, they're here somewhere. We came straight in here when we got home last night.
Oh, I will never call Mona scatterbrained again. I am worse. And, Gary, I can't get a taxi. It's too early. All that snow.
Well, walk then. It's only 5 blocks.
Where are the keys? They're not here.
Hey, your pockets.
What?
That coat. You wore it last night. Look in the pockets.
Oh, my Lord. I really will kill myself for...
Go, darling. Just go.
Now, precious. Aunt Kitty's on the way. I don't know why it's taking so... Shh. Bobo, the front door. Kitty?
I'm here. Kitty to the rescue.
Hush, Bobo. I'm right here beside the door.
And I'm right here on the other side.
All right. Push hard, and I'll pull. Kitty? Kitty, what are you doing?
Mona, I am pushing hard.
Well, harder. You have got to do it harder. Kitty!
It won't budge.
Oh, kick it. Harder.
I'll kick its flaps out. I'm so mad at it.
Nothing.
Darling, listen now. It won't open. It will not open.
Well, it has to. I can't stand it. It has to.
Claustrophobia, an excessive abnormal dread of being in a confined space. Mona Clayton, confined, filled with terror, with torment, and the door remains closed. Such an obsession worsens with the passage of time, thus worsens in Act 2, which will unfold shortly. At the end of Act 1, I spoke of Mona Clayton's obsession. But is that a correct description of her problem? I consulted Mr. Webster. He tells me that the word obsession once had an occult meaning, a person possessed by a demon. That original connotation is now obsolete, but I'm strongly inclined to apply it to what is taking place in Mona. Ask yourself during Act 2 if she does not seem possessed by an evil spirit.
Now, Mona, listen to me. Now, stop crying and listen.
Yes.
I've pushed the door as hard as I can. Now, don't get scared when I stop talking to you. I have not deserted you. I'm just going into the living room to find something to ram the door with. Mona?
I hear you. How could a door stick like this?
I don't know. Is it damp, maybe? I don't know. Now, just hang on to the doorknob, and I will be right back.
Don't stay in there. Come back. Come. Gary. Yes, a phone. Yes. Oh. Ring. You're not ringing. It's dead. They shut it off. Oh, no. No, not yet. Oh, please, not yet. Gary, fix it, please. Please fix it. Make it ring.
Mona?
They've cut off the phone. It's dead.
Mona, listen to me. Come back to the door. It doesn't matter about the phone.
It does. I can't call Gary.
You do not need to call Gary. Now, listen. I've got this chair now. I can run at the door with it. It'll ruin your Chippendale antique. It's a battering ram now. Now, just stand back from the door and don't be scared of the sound. Okay?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Nothing.
I'll try again.
It won't work. Nothing will work. I will be trapped here forever. I told you.
I don't believe this. The chair broke, but not the door.
You're not trying.
What?
You're not. You want me to miss my plane.
Mona!
You don't want me to get the award.
Mona, stop that. Now, just stop it.
You're jealous because I won and you didn't.
Of course I would like to have won, but if it couldn't be me, I'm glad it's you.
You are not glad, and you are jealous. You are jealous of the award. You are jealous of Gary and me. He loved me first. You know he did. You are jealous because we had an affair.
He says you didn't, and I believe him.
We did.
I don't care if you did. I do care that you are working yourself into a frenzy. Now, you think you've missed your plane, and I'm afraid you have, but we still...
I don't care about the plane. I just want out of here, and you won't let me out. The walls are closing. They are closing, and you will keep me here forever.
Mona.
No one will come. Everyone will think I'm in London, and I can't phone, and you will leave me here to starve and die and be dead.
Mona, shut up. Now, I'm about to go and get somebody to break this door down. Somebody in the building, somebody in the street, somebody...
Then why don't you go? You just keep talking and talking.
If you want to know, I'm afraid to leave you alone when your light's finished.
You see that? You see that? You don't want me out. You want me to go crazy. You tell me that I'm crazy.
You're talking crazy, that's all. So I'm not going out of here until you make me a promise. You promised me you will not go near the windows. Now, I want you to get in bed, and I want you to stay there. Will you promise?
I don't want to go near the windows.
I have your promise.
But what if the walls close too tight?
They are not closing at all, Mona. You imagine it. You are to stay away from the windows. Yes, Mona?
Yes.
Now, you've got Bobo. You talk to him while I'm gone.
But he's asleep. How could he be asleep? He doesn't care what happens to me either.
Mona, you were getting better for a minute. Count backwards from 100, okay? Anything to keep the awful thoughts out. Yes? All right?
All right. Go. Just go. 75, 74. The walls, 73, 72. I could get out through the courtyard. The snow, it's deep and soft, and I'd be out. Out! No. Kitty would like it if I... It's what she wants. Don't go near the windows, Mona. You're talking crazy, Mona. Windows. Kitty, where are you? Why haven't you found someone if you really want me out? You hate me. God, I'm talking crazy. Kitty's my friend. 65, 64, 63. Three windows. There are 3 windows. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Kit, you're back. I got coffee all waiting for you. Mona on her way?
Listen, get your coat. I couldn't get the door open, and hurry.
Good Lord, Mona's still shut in that room?
Don't talk, just come. She is wild.
Well, why didn't you phone me? Oh, I know her phone is up. Well, you could have used one of those street phones instead of coming all the way back to the apartment.
I didn't have change. Not one single dime, 1 nickel, 1 quarter. I couldn't phone.
You mean you
Stop asking questions and come on. We can talk on the way. Can't get a taxi either. For heaven's sake, will you come?
All I can say is thank God we're joggers.
Who can jog in the snow? Oh, Gary, I've been away from Mona for hours.
Kit, not even 1 hour has passed since Mona first called. It's 5 to 7.
I can't believe it.
Well, believe it.
The 2 are claustrophobic, locked in a room. 1 hour is a lifetime.
Yeah. You mean you couldn't find one person you could take into that apartment?
Gary, I told you. I rang, and I knocked on both apartments below Mona, and I just gave up. Either everybody's in Florida or asleep or afraid to open the doors at 7 a.m. So I tore down the street and... How many people do you see on a snowy morning on Park Avenue in New York City at 7 o'clock?
All right, sweetheart, take it easy.
I'm sorry. I can't jog another step. I mean, jogging around Central Park in good weather is one thing. Through foot-high snow, I can't.
Okay, well, take it easy. We're almost there anyhow.
Gary, did you have an affair with Mona?
Oh, for Pete's sake.
All right, don't answer.
I certainly won't. You know the answer.
Do I?
Kitty, is this the time and place? Anyhow, we've been down this road a dozen times. And will you please not look like that, huh? All crumpled and sad. You're my happy girl, my girl that's 1,000 laughs.
Oh, yeah.
Now, will you please?
How's that?
Beautiful. You're marvelous.
I'm an actress.
Well, anyhow, it brought us right to Mona's building.
I think Lord Byron said it. And if I laugh at any mortal thing, 'tis that I may not weep.
Mona, we're here. The shoulder of Gary Stewart, former football star, against your door, and you're out of jail.
Less boasting, more action, darling.
Shut up, Bobo. Now stand back, Mona. Here I come. Mona?
Mona.
The window. It's open. Oh, my God. She's there. 16 stories down.
In the snow. Wearing a red suit. Cherries in the snow. Oh, Mona, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You were asked to consider if Mona Clayton was possessed by a demon. In the light or the dark of what has happened, how do you answer? She had everything to live for: youth, beauty, talent, fame. Yet she went out a window because she could not go out a door. Claustrophobia or an evil spirit? In Act 3, we'll find the surprising answer. And if I laugh at any mortal thing, quoted Kitty Stewart, 'tis that I may not weep. But she cannot hide her tears with laughter anymore. It is 4 hours since Mona's death. Kitty lies in her own darkened bedroom, Bobo beside her, phone off the hook to avoid the intrusion of reporters and friends. But suicide is a police matter, and she can no longer avoid official questioning. Gary has just opened the bedroom door.
Kid, I've told Lieutenant Hench all the details. He's promised he won't keep you long. Just routine. Will you come now?
Routine for him, not for me. What's he like?
What you'd expect. Efficient, reasonably bright, a little bored maybe. Seen too much, heard too much. But very impressed with who you are.
Who am I?
Honey, don't talk like that. I'll tell you who Hench says you are. Broadway's favorite comedian.
Charming. I must go to any lengths to make him laugh. Is he also impressed with who Mona was?
He didn't happen to mention that.
But Mona will be mentioned when I walk into that living room, won't she? Oh, poor Bobo heard Mona's name. See, if I stop holding him for 1 second, he begins to quiver. I think he knows what happened.
Kit, are you sure you want to keep him? You never really liked him before.
How could we not keep him? You know how Mona felt about this little creature. Bobo? Bobo, you promised Aunt Kitty you won't cry?
Oh, for Pete's sake, not baby talk. You sound like Mona. I'm sorry, I can't think of her as
Dead is the word, Gary. Mona is dead. And the fault is Kitty Lockwood's.
Kitty, in the name of heaven, don't say things like that to Hench. All that junk you've been saying to me. It's nonsense. We both know it.
It's not what I know. I know it's my fault she's dead.
I can't stand here and argue and keep Hench waiting any longer. Now, please come, darling. And please be careful what you say.
Broadway's favorite comedian with red eyes and red nose will now make an entrance and try to remember not to say the wrong lines.
Real pleasure, Miss Lockwood, Mrs. Stewart. I saw you in Dust Off That Dream, best show around last fall.
Then you missed Mona Clayton in Who Has Seen the Wind.
Well, yes, in my line of work there's enough tragedy. I like comedy.
She won an important British award for her performance. If it weren't for what happened this morning, almost at this moment, she would be accepting that award.
Lieutenant, can we get on with this?
Yeah, sure. Mrs. Stewart, if you'll just describe for me the events as you know them before the suicide.
Lieutenant, I've said this to you twice before. Mona Clayton did not commit suicide.
And I've said to you that she went out a window 16 stories up, jumped to her death of her own volition. That is suicide.
She didn't do it to kill herself. She did it to get out of her room. What sent her through that window was claustrophobia, not a death wish.
You are both wrong. It was not suicide, not to escape a room. It was murder.
Oh, Kitty.
Now, Mrs. Stewart, your husband warned me you might say something of this sort.
Lieutenant Hench, I murdered my friend as surely as if I pushed her out of that window.
And he explained why you would say such a thing. Shock, sorrow, undeserved guilt, because you weren't able to help her.
Undeserved guilt? Will you listen to my sins of omission, Lieutenant? I was slow dressing. I left this apartment without Mona's keys, had to come back. On the street again, I could have stopped an occupied taxi and explained the emergency. I didn't. I walked instead.
Honey, don't rehearse all this.
I have to. When I got to Mona's, I didn't push hard enough on the door. Then I didn't ring enough doorbells to get help. Back on the street, I hadn't the sense to bring even a dime in my purse. And again, I didn't look hard enough for somebody to help or flag a cab. I ran to Gary again.
Mrs. Stewart, none of that is murder. Bad luck, bad planning, but it's not murder. Regret for these things is understandable, but taking blame for your friend's death, no.
You really don't think that I...
No one could possibly think that, Mrs. Stewart. Now, Mr. Stewart, I believe your wife should go back and lie down. I can question her another time.
No. You've made me feel better. You really have, and I thank you. So you ask me whatever you need to.
That's better. Go ahead, Lieutenant. Finish.
All right. Mrs. Stewart, suppose you describe Miss Clayton's state of mind when you got to her apartment.
The fear kept increasing, especially when she found out the phone was disconnected. She was a little out of her mind, Lieutenant. She was talking crazy. That's why I didn't want to leave her. I mean, without someone to talk to, even on the phone, she'd be more afraid. But if I stayed, she was still locked in. So it was go, stay. It was a terrible decision. Did I make the wrong one? I don't know. I just don't know.
Sweetheart, you made the only one you could.
Can Lieutenant Hench say that to me?
I can and do. At any time, did Miss Clayton threaten to go out the window?
Never. But she did keep saying that the walls were closing in.
I believe that's a common delusion of people with her kind of phobia. How long had you known Miss Clayton?
Oh, over 10 years. I knew her very well. That's how I knew what she was going through this morning, and I failed her.
Lieutenant, isn't this enough?
Yes. Thank you, Mrs. Stewart. Sorry I had to put you through this.
I'm not, because you have made me feel less guilty.
Mr. Stewart, will you stay a moment longer?
Right. All right, kitten, now I'll try to sleep.
I'll try.
Good. I won't come in till you call me. Kid? Wake up. Come on, wake up.
Oh, Gary, you told me to sleep. Why are you waking
You've had quite a long sleep. Were you dreaming of Mona?
Mona, for a little while I could forget. Why did you wake me?
I have a report I think will interest you. It interested me.
A report?
I've been doing some investigating. It began by accident. After Lieutenant Hench left, I discovered I was out of cigarettes. I looked in your purse. I found not cigarettes, but something you didn't have. Change.
Money? Coins? You mean all the time?
3 dimes, 2 nickels.
All the time I could have phoned you?
Yes.
It must have been nerves caught from Mona. I rummaged too fast in my purse. I panicked. I ran for you. Oh, Gary.
Before you left Mona's building, you said you rang 2 doorbells. The apartments on the floor below. Yes?
Yes.
But the tenants were asleep in Florida or afraid to answer the bells at that hour. Isn't that what you thought?
Well, I guess there could have been some other reason.
I rang those same doorbells. 16A, no answer. But the live-in maid at 16B did answer. She said she was up at 6 this morning and no doorbell had rung until I rang it.
Darling, what on earth are you... Are you suggesting I didn't go to those apartments?
It does seem a little odd, wouldn't you say?
No. The live-in maid could have been running the water. It could have been in the shower, couldn't she? Did you ask her that?
No. No, I had a lot of other puzzles in my mind. For example, your offer this morning to go to Mona instead of me. At the time, I thought it was very sweet of you.
And now you think?
That it was unnatural. You hate getting up early, you hate the snow, and I was the obvious person to go. Do you deny any of that?
No.
Second puzzle. Considering Mona's emergency, you were very slow dressing. Why? When you're always a fast dresser.
I told you I was half asleep, Gary. I was. Have you more puzzles?
You left here, went down to the street, stood around for 5 minutes or more waiting for a taxi when you could have walked to Mona's in that time. And then suddenly, or not so suddenly, highly efficient Kitty realizes she's forgotten to take Mona's set of keys.
I did forget them. I was worried about Mona, not thinking straight.
You don't find it odd that they were in your coat pocket all the time?
I don't find anything odd in a crisis situation.
Those several delaying tactics aren't odd?
I can't stand much more of this, Gary.
And not an odd coincidence that while you were dressing so slowly, you spoke of the fact that I, as Mona's agent, got her the envied role in Who Has Seen the Wind and did not get it for Kitty Lockwood?
Well, it is true, isn't it?
And not another odd coincidence that you asked me that tired, beat-up question, did I have an affair with Mona?
To which you've always answered that you did not. But in the horrible light of what you've been saying to me now, I'm beginning to wonder.
You've always wondered. You never believed me or Mona. And you think the affair never stopped.
Well, then we're even, aren't we? I can't believe you've been faithful, and you can't believe I tried to save Mona this morning. That is what you've been saying, isn't it?
I could believe you tried, believe all your answers to my questions except for one fact. You could have opened Mona's bedroom door yourself.
What?
It took hardly any strength at all for me to open it. You could have done it almost as easily. If you wanted to.
That is not true. I tried with every ounce of strength I had. If you believe I didn't try, then why haven't you said so before?
I didn't give it any thought when it happened because that's when we found Mona. I only realized it since I began putting all the bits and pieces together.
So what is my devoted husband saying now that he's put them together?
You know what I'm saying. That fake confession of murder to Lieutenant Hench wasn't fake. It was fact.
No. No.
You've been jealous of Mona for years. Her looks, her acting, her success before yours. The fact that I loved her first. For her to win the British award was a blow your ego couldn't take.
Stop it, Gary.
Well, maybe at first you only meant to make her miss her plane. Miss all that public glory in London. And then standing by her stuck door, The phone out of service. Yeah. You realized what else you could do.
No. Oh, all right. Maybe subconsciously I did want her to miss her plane, but that's all. I swear I pushed her door as hard as I could. I even told her not to go near the windows while I was gone. I said that. If I wanted her to... Would I have said don't go near the window?
Yes. Neatly putting the idea in her head. Jump, Mona, jump.
Stop saying that. I won't listen. It's a lie.
Admit it, Kit. You hated her. You wanted her dead.
She said that. Did I? I don't know anymore. I did hate her, I think. I didn't realize till now, but want her dead. Want to drive her to out the... Did I? I mean, could I?
Well, did you? Could you?
No. I didn't do it. Or make her do it. And you can't prove I did. Oh, you'd like to, wouldn't you? You were always on her side, always got her the best parts. She gets the part in Who Has Seen the Wind. She wins the award. Well, lying there in the snow, that's winning.
You killed her, and you know it. Now, it can't be proved, but you'll live with what you've done for the rest of your life. Alone. I won't be around. Goodbye, Kitty.
No, I didn't do it. Don't go, please, please.
I'll come for my things when you're not here.
Gary, come back. Gary. Gary. Gary.
So, not Mona, but Kitty is possessed by a demon that has destroyed one and soon will destroy the other. At no time did Kitty's conscious mind think, I will be rid of Mona and never be accused of murder. No, the workings of her subconscious were dark and secret as it manipulated its creature to commit a deed never thought possible. I'll return shortly. Kitty Lockwood's motive for murder was hidden, even from herself. But we have been given strong evidence and a warning that when hate rules the psyche, all manner of other evils are released and flourish. Who has seen the wind? The wind of envy and jealousy, of hate and vengeance that can destroy a mind. Our cast featured Michael Tolan, Terry Keane, and Carol Teitel. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents...
Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Welcome to the sounds of suspense. Justice, the noblest creation and the highest ideal of man. The foundation of all religion and the cornerstone of every law. Justice, the birthright of every human being on the face of the earth. Justice, we're brought up to believe in it, to expect it. But what about those people who suddenly discover that for them, there isn't any justice? Our mystery drama, Only the Dead Remember, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Sam Dan and stars Tony Roberts and Mandel Kramer. For a long time, ever since he came home from one of our wars, Eddie Benson has been looking for someone. Those vital years of his life that might have been invested in a career, devoted to a family, have instead been devoured by an all-consuming search as Eddie Benson roamed the length and breadth of America, supporting himself by his nimble and sensitive fingers, playing the piano, in grimy saloons, in sophisticated night spots, but always looking, always listening, ever alert for a clue that could lead to his quarry. Well, now, tonight, suddenly the manhunt will come to an end in a cocktail lounge in a northwestern city just a few minutes before midnight. Odd how a search so intense could be climaxed by a discovery so casual. How so serious and deadly a crusade can be capped with a laugh. That laugh. Eddie Benson hasn't heard that laugh in years. That laugh. He would recognize it anywhere. It could only belong to one person. And now Eddie's fingers slide softly and swiftly over the keyboard and find a melody. A pretty little melody that has a special meaning for certain people. Especially for that comfortable-looking man at the corner table. The man with that laugh.
So I said to her, my dear, if I were to get married again, it'd be the triumph of hope over experience.
Yes, sir, Mr. Jackson. That's a good one, all right. Oh, what's the matter, Mr. Jackson?
The matter?
You okay? You got a funny look on your face all of a sudden.
Hey, Millie.
You didn't get sick or something.
Who's that? Who's that playing the piano tonight?
Oh, there's some guy filling in for Woody. You know him?
No. For a minute, though, I thought he may have looked familiar. That's just my imagination. Millie?
What is it, Mr. Jackson?
Ask him if he'll,
You got a request, Mr. Jackson?
Yeah, I have. Ask him to quit playing that song.
You don't like it? It's kind of a catchy tune.
Just give him this. Tell him to play something else.
Eddie.
You got a request.
Request in reverse. Customer says to take this $10 and quit playing what you're playing now.
What's this character's name?
Jackson. R.J. Jackson.
I see. R.J. Jackson. Does he, live around here?
Oh, up on the hill. All kinds of money.
Figures.
Huh?
It's funny, Millie. How it ends. Where it ends. There were times I thought it would never end. All these years. It kind of took over, you know. It became a way of life.
Look, I wish I knew what you were talking about.
No, you don't, Millie.
I think I'll split.
You mean walk out? You can't just walk out on the
How'd you like to make $10?
All depends.
You keep the 10 spot, and as soon as I'm out of here, you go up to him, good old R.J. Jackson, see, and you say to him, Mother Hennessy's chickens are coming home to roost.
You're kidding.
Say it. You're $10 ahead.
Yeah, but you can't just quit in the middle of playing.
Remember the chickens, Millie. See you around.
Yeah. Oh, boy. The more I get to know musicians. Now, how'd that go? Mother Hennessy's chickens. Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, the piano player, he wanted me to tell you something.
Yeah? I bet it's thanks. That's the easiest $10 he ever made.
Well, what he wanted to tell you was...
Yep. Well?
Well, he said, let's see, Mother Hennessy's chickens are coming home to roost.
What's that?
I'm sure that's what he said. Mother Hennessy's chickens are...
No.
Mr. Jackson. Hey, somebody, give me a hand, quick, he's fainted.
Oh. What? Oh, no way. All right, I'm up. Yeah. Hello?
Tom Wilson?
Yeah, that's Tom Wilson. You know what time it is? It happens
I got a message for you, Tom. Mother Hennessy's chickens are coming home to roost.
What? What did you say? Who is this? Hello?
Hello?
Is Bill Traynor at home?
No, but I expect him. Who's calling?
Is this his wife?
Yes, I'm Liz Traynor.
Will you take a message?
Well, of course.
Tell him Mother Hennessy's chickens are coming home to roost.
Yes?
That's all.
You're joking. Hello? Oh, well.
Hi, darling.
Oh, Bill. You just missed a phone call?
Oh, never mind that. What'd the doctor say?
Oh, things are just fine. He'll be born on schedule.
You mean you won't take it, girl?
Darling, I'll take whatever we can get.
I can't believe it, honey. After all this time, everything is going our way. Tom worked out the contract.
Oh, Bill. Oh, I'm so happy.
We're going to be rich, honey. We're going to own a business, and we're going to be parents. What were you saying about a phone call?
Oh, well, a man just called. Very mysterious.
Hmm?
He said to tell you that, let me see, Mother Hennessy's chickens are coming home to roost.
He said what?
Well, that's what he said. And he hung up. Can it mean anything?
Oh, no, nothing at all. Just forget it.
What about dinner? Bill, dinner?
Did the man say anything else?
Bill, you're so pale.
Honey, believe me, this is really nothing that should concern you.
The key is the name Hennessy.
Where should we go to dinner?
Darling, you're trying to distract me. Hennessy, we don't know any Hennessy.
Look, honey, I've just been going at a very fast pace, and...
Hennessy's chickens. That combination is familiar.
Darling, I'm really very hungry.
I've got it. Oh, I've got it. Your old army outfit is holding a reunion.
What do you know about my old army outfit?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all, except you and Tom Wilson were in it together. You were in Korea. You were prisoners, and you refused to talk about it. Even to me.
Why do you say we're having a reunion?
Hennessy. What? Last year when we moved into this house, I was putting a lot of your old stuff away. There was an army picture of you and Tom Wilson. Well, you must have been all of 18, and 2 other young soldiers. In the middle, an older man, a sergeant. And underneath it, you had written, Mother Hennessy's chickens. It just clicked in my mind. That sergeant, that older man.
He was all of 26.
Well, his name was Hennessy, wasn't it?
Yes.
And he looked after all of you like a mother hen.
Yes.
And now you're having a reunion. Oh, Bill. What a wonderful person that Sergeant Hennessy. I want to meet him.
No, you can't.
Why?
He's dead.
Oh. Was he killed in the war?
In the prison camp.
Bill, that music, that piano. Don't you hear it? It's coming from the living room. Someone's playing the piano. I didn't hear anyone ring the bell. Well, let's go see.
No.
But someone's in the apartment.
Liz, stay here.
Bill.
I want you to stay in the bedroom.
Yes, but why?
Liz, in all the years we've been married, I never asked you to do anything just because I said so. But I'm asking you now, please.
All right, Bill.
Just for a while. Hello, Eddie.
Front door was open. I just walked in.
Well, you're welcome, Eddie. Been a long time.
A lifetime. Nice layout.
Yeah. I've done well.
I'm sure you deserve it.
I went to school on the GI Bill, became an engineer.
I always said you had the stuff, Billy.
I'm going to own a good-sized electronics company.
That's nice.
Our old buddy Tom Wilson, remember him?
Who could ever forget Tom?
Well, he's drawing up the contract. He became a lawyer. What about yourself, Eddie?
Me?
Yeah, a fellow with your talent, the way you could write songs like this one for Hennessy. We all figured we'd hear you doing Broadway musicals, coming up with top hits.
Well, I've been too busy.
Doing what?
Looking for somebody. Looking for an old friend of ours.
Bill, I had a phone call. The craziest phone call.
Hello, Tommy.
Eddie. Hey, Eddie Benson. It could only have been you. Where you been hiding?
Tom? Billy? I got the greatest news in the world. I found him. I finally found him.
You finally found who?
The needle in the haystack. One grain of sand on the beach. It was such a long time. It was such a long search.
Eddie, who did you find?
Who do you think? Myers.
Myers? R.J. Myers?
He doesn't call himself Myers anymore, but it's still R.J. Robert Joseph. Or, as Hennessy said, our own little Bobby Joe.
Well, that's incredible.
Except he's not so little anymore. He's a very portly gentleman these days.
You say you found him?
I found him.
What did you say to him, Eddie?
Nothing.
Well, how could you just say nothing?
Tom, you, Billy, and we've got nothing to say to Bobby Joe. I just made sure of where we could find him, and I came here to pick up you two guys.
Eddie.
I have a .45. What do you guys want to use?
Eddie, what are you saying?
I'm saying if we leave now, we can fly to where he is in less than 3 hours and kill him before midnight.
Kill. Into the pleasant, well-ordered, comfortable world of Bill Traynor and Tom Wilson, there suddenly intrudes a strange, terrifying, and ugly word. It's not a word of this world. It's a word that belongs to another world, a world of pain and horror, a world that they thought was dead and gone. We'll continue in that world when I return shortly with Act 2. When they were 19 years old, Eddie Benson, Bill Traynor, and Tom Wilson suffered and starved and froze in a prison camp in North Korea. Now it's a lifetime later, and to Tom and Bill, Korea is barely a dream. But Eddie Benson is still stuck deep in the nightmare, still determined to carry out a deadly promise they made to each other long ago.
I thought you two guys would be glad to see me. Now we can keep our promise.
What promise?
Tom, you're kidding, aren't you? Bill, you remember the promise the three of us made? Well, do you?
Yes?
It was more than a promise.
Eddie.
It was an oath.
Look, Eddie.
No, you look, Tom. You look back at a mound of dirt in that prison camp in Korea. You look back and see three guys, we three guys, were kneeling next to that mound of dirt because it's Hennessy's grave. Look back and hear us. Hear us swear never to rest, never to stop, never to know a moment's peace until we killed Robert Joseph Myers.
Eddie, how can we just kill him?
How? Simple. Blow his brains out.
You live in another world, whether you realize it or not. Now, you just don't go around killing people.
That there are people who have to be killed, Tom.
You're not in combat. The war's over.
Not yet.
Eddie, you're home. There's the law. Now, what do you tell the police?
The truth.
What's the truth?
You know the truth as well as I do, Tom. Myers turned rat in Korea. He gave away our escape plan, and he got Hennessy killed for it.
But can you be sure it was Myers?
We know it was Myers. We knew, didn't we? Bill.
I guess we did. All right, tell me this. If we were so sure, why didn't we denounce him 6 months later after we were freed?
Why? You know why, Tom. You were the law student. You said don't denounce him.
I said?
You said. We had no hard evidence. A smart defense lawyer could get him acquitted at a court-martial. That's what you said.
All I said was I wished we had more evidence.
You said we would have to get Myers by ourselves. That's what you said. We would find him, kill him, and announce it to the whole world. And that's what we swore we would do. Do you remember, Bill?
I remember.
Tom?
All right, Eddie, all right. But that was a long time ago.
That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
No, but it means it happened in another time, in another place, under different rules.
In other words, you're not willing to do it.
I can't do it. I'm an attorney, a member of the bar. I simply cannot be an accessory to a felony.
Okay. Bill, what's your excuse?
I'm not aware that I need an excuse.
I spent my life looking for Bobby Joe so that justice could be done.
Eddie, we can only have justice through the law.
Okay. Tell me then. Will the law give us justice?
We have no evidence.
Okay. No justice from the law, then. Tell me. In that case, where and to whom can we go for justice? Well, does your silence mean there isn't going to be any justice?
Eddie.
Eddie what? Hennessy saved the lives of each of us more times than we can count. If it weren't for him, none of us would be around today. He was betrayed. He was murdered because of Robert Joseph Myers. Now, is that going to be the end of it?
Eddie, there are certain realities.
I know what you think, Tom. Bill, I want to hear you say something.
I wish I knew what to say. You've got nothing to lose, Eddie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it comes down to, doesn't it? I'm just Crazy Eddie, the piano player. You guys, pillars of the community. Rich, respectable, gutless. Well, I'll do it alone.
Eddie, there must be another way out of this.
Tell me about it.
Look, I don't want him to go unpunished either. But Eddie, what's wrong? Eddie?
I don't know.
Hey, Eddie.
Get me a drink of water.
Tom, hold on, or he's going to pass out.
Let him sleep.
What's the matter with him, Doctor?
Well, I'd say this man's been living on his nerves for a long, long time.
Well, what can we do for him?
Let him sleep. For a week, if you can. And whatever you do, see that nothing excites him.
I'm afraid that's going to be difficult.
Why?
Oh, it's a long story.
He needs rest. Needs calm. Call me tomorrow.
Yes, Doctor.
Bill.
Try to get some sleep, Eddie.
I feel so tired. I'll just rest a while, okay?
Sure.
I never felt so tired, except when we were in Korea, remember?
Yeah.
Remember how Hennessy would keep us awake while we were on guard?
Sure.
You were his favorite?
Oh, he didn't play favorites.
He liked you more than the rest of us because you were the best soldier.
Eddie, try to get some sleep.
I don't care about Tom, but you, especially you have to help me kill Myers.
Eddie, you need your sleep.
Yeah. I'll sleep a little, and then when I feel stronger, we'll go get him. You have to help me, Bill. After all, if it weren't for you, if it weren't for you...
If it weren't for me, what, Eddie? Eddie?
Help me, Sergeant. Sergeant Hennessy, get me out of here. Hennessy, help me. Please, don't leave me alone.
Bill.
What?
Bill.
I'm sorry. I was having a nightmare.
Oh, darling, look, you just can't keep torturing yourself.
Liz, what am I going to do?
It'll be all right.
No, Liz, whatever I do, it won't be all right. It won't.
Oh, surely you just can't.
Just can't what?
I better not say any more.
Why did Eddie have to show up now?
Darling, what are you going to do?
I don't know. But I just can't go and kill Myers. It would be throwing away my whole life. Yours as well. Liz, please help me.
I can't help you. No one can help you.
It's all set. We have the closing tomorrow. You'll own a factory, Bill, my friend.
Yeah.
Is Eddie better?
Yeah, he's sitting up now. He's getting an appetite. In a couple of days, the doctor says he can be out of bed.
You know what we have to do, don't you? We have to get word to Myers somehow. I don't like this any more than you do, but we have to warn him to keep out of sight for a while.
I suppose.
Has he told you where Myers is living?
No. He won't even tell me what name Myers is using.
Why?
I don't think he trusts us, Tom. He thinks we betrayed him and Hennessy.
Bill.
Look, Tom, what's the use? In a sense, we have betrayed Hennessy.
I know.
We've even betrayed ourselves.
It's all part of what you have to do to live. Now, we must find out where Myers is.
Eddie won't tell me.
He might tell me. I'll get it out of him somehow. We'll save him yet, in spite of himself.
Oh, I'm freezing. It's so cold. So cold.
Bill, darling, you're having a bad dream.
What?
Wake up.
Can we
Wake
build
up.
a fire? Why won't they let us build a fire?
Bill.
A fire.
Bill, please.
Why can't they let us have a fire?
Bill.
Eddie.
Yes, Eddie. We gotta break out of here tomorrow night. Hennessy said to tell you.
We won't have a chance. We better not.
We'll die if we stay here, Tom.
He's right, Tom.
You guys know where we have to meet?
Yeah, Tom and I know. Did you tell Myers?
No.
Why not?
Myers isn't going.
Why not?
Shut up, Bill. You can't tell who's around.
Hennessy says Myers can't cut it.
But he's one of us. We can't leave him here.
Hennessy says we can't take a chance on him.
No.
No what?
Without Hennessy and us around to protect him, he'll die here. I'm going to talk to Hennessy. I'll convince him. I'll convince Hennessy that we have got to take Myers. I'll convince him.
Bill, wake up. Darling, you're dreaming again.
What? Yeah. Oh.
Bill, are you all right?
Yeah. I'm all right. Only sometimes I don't know which is the dream. This or Korea. Hi, darling.
Oh, hello, Bill. Tom's here.
Oh?
Yeah, he's inside talking to Eddie.
Yeah, I've got something to say to Eddie, too. Look, I almost forgot you saw the doctor today. Is there anything?
Oh, everything's just fine.
Oh, Liz, this should be the happiest part of my life.
I know, Bill.
I'll be right out. Well, how is everybody?
I want to thank you for everything, Bill.
Oh, it's nothing.
I'm leaving tonight.
Leaving? Where to?
There's a promise I have to keep.
See if you can talk him out of it, Bill. He won't listen to me. He won't tell me anything either.
I won't try to talk you out of anything, Eddie. I want to go with you.
Bill!
What for? To help me or to stop me?
I don't know. I just feel that I have to face Myers with you. And then... Well, right now, I don't know.
Fellas, if this is the way the conversation is going, I have to leave. I can't be part of what happens.
Well, Eddie, where are we going?
I'll tell you when we get there.
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
Are you going to try to save him?
I don't know what I'm going to do.
We're in this because you tried to save him the last time, you remember?
Yes, I remember. When are we leaving?
Tonight.
All right, I'll go pack.
You don't need much. Just a toothbrush, a razor, and a revolver.
The decisions have been made. Or have they? Tom stays, Bill goes. But what is it that Bill will do when he faces Myers? Right now, his emotions are those of a 19-year-old. But how long can those emotions sustain a man who is close to 40? We'll know when I return shortly with Act 3. Many of us spend our lives searching for the truth. But what is the truth?
Now, direct from CBS News, this Radio Net Alert Bulletin.
This is Richard Threlkeld in San Francisco. A federal warrant was issued tonight for Patricia Hearst, kidnapped daughter of publisher Randolph Hearst, as a material witness in today's $10,000 robbery of a San Francisco bank. Ms. Hearst, who announced in a communique last week that she has renounced her family to join her erstwhile captors, the Symbionese Liberation Army, was clearly visible in a security photo taken during the robbery, holding a carbine in the bank teller area. Authorities said they wanted Ms. Hearst, who has taken the revolutionary name Tanya, not for her arrest, but only as a witness, on the assumption she may have been forced to participate in the robbery, in which 2 bystanders were critically wounded. 3 other persons, all women, all known or suspected SLA members, were charged with the robberies. Authorities said they still do not have hard evidence that Patricia Hearst took willing part in the robbery. But as FBI agent in charge Charles Bates put it tonight, I am now convinced Patricia Hearst is alive and still with the SLA, unquote. This is Richard Threlkeld in San Francisco.
This Net Alert Bulletin has come to you from CBS News. We now resume the regular program schedule on this CBS Radio Net Alert station.
Many of us spend our lives searching for the truth. But what is the truth? When are we closest to the basic essence of our existence? Is it when we have the experience and wisdom of age, or the fire and idealism of youth? We keep asking, what is the truth? The answer is, each man must find his own truth.
Liz, Eddie's gone.
Yes, I know.
You know?
Well, I went to his room to see if he was up to having dinner, and he wasn't there.
But I was supposed to go with him.
I know that, too.
How did you know? I didn't tell you.
Darling, you didn't have to tell me.
Well, then how?
I have faith in you, Bill. I have faith that in the end you will do what's right.
Looks as if I'm not going to do anything with Eddie gone.
Well, do you really want to find him?
But how? How could I even begin to look?
I know where he went.
You know? How do you know?
Well, while he was sick, I sent his clothes to the cleaners, and in his pocket there was an airline return ticket.
A ticket to where?
Now, look, Bill, I won't tell you unless you take me with you.
Honey, you can't go in your condition.
Bill, we have to do this together.
But it might be dangerous.
You're wasting our time, Bill. We should be getting the next plane for Central City.
Oh, boy, I didn't realize how hungry I was.
Well, we missed dinner last night.
Now, tell me something. How do we find Eddie in a city this size?
Where's the waitress? Oh, miss. Oh, could you bring us the morning paper, please?
How's the paper going to help us?
Well, the paper would carry ads for the night spots where he might have worked.
Hey, it's right. If he found Myers, it would probably be in a bar or a club.
Yes. Oh, thank you, miss.
All right, darling, you go through the ads. I'll just sit and finish this coffee. Then I'll start looking for Eddie.
Well, I intend to go with you.
Oh, no. No, you don't. It's miserable out. It's snowy. Now, you stay in the hotel. I can find him.
Bill. Oh, Bill, we won't find Eddie.
What do you mean?
Look at what it says. Here in the paper.
Let's see.
Yeah. Eddie is dead.
What? Musician found shot to death. Police puzzled by mysterious murder. Body discovered in hotel room. No apparent motive. Eddie dead? How can he be? Only yesterday.
Well, do the police have anything to go on?
No, it says here no leads, no clues. Liz, it had to happen last night. Someone was waiting for him. It has to be Myers.
Well, look, we'd better tell the police.
But Eddie said that's not the name Myers is using. We don't know who he is.
Liz, Bill.
Tom, what are you doing here?
I just got in. I checked the hotels and ran you down.
Then you know.
Yeah, I saw it in the paper. That's why I flew out here.
But, Tom...
What?
How could you...
Liz, what is it?
Oh, nothing.
Poor Eddie. You know what this means? We're both in trouble now, you and I.
Why?
Well, it's obvious Myers knew Eddie was after him, so he killed him.
Tom, we have no choice. We have got to find Myers.
But while we don't know who he is, he knows who we are. In this big city, who is Myers? He could kill us from ambush and get away with it.
Oh, Bill.
Of course, there's one thing we could do.
Yes?
Call it off.
How?
Take the next plane out of here. That would be our way of telling Myers it's all over.
Is that what you want to do?
I'm not saying it's what I want to do. I'm listing our options.
I think we have to find Myers, Tom. This time we can turn him over to justice. Oh, it's funny the way it worked out. Eddie had to die so that justice could settle accounts with Myers.
We have to find him first.
All right, we'll try all the music places. Liz, you stay here and stick close to the phones. If either of us gets a lead, we'll be in touch.
Hello?
Darling?
Oh, any luck?
No. Has Tom phoned in?
Not yet.
Well, let's hope we get lucky.
Bill, something bothers me. It must be my imagination again.
Why? What is it?
I don't know, but it has something to do with Tom.
What?
I can't put my finger on it. Just something that doesn't sound right.
Well, what, honey? What could be wrong about Tom?
Bill, now I know.
Wait a minute, darling. I'll call you later. Miss?
Oh, yes, sir. Care to order?
That tune. Would you ask the piano player where he learned it?
He learns it from me. I hum it all the time. You know, he says to me, "Hey, Millie, I like that." Now he plays it all the time.
I knew the man who wrote it. Eddie Benson.
Oh, you know Eddie?
Sure, we were good friends.
It's a shame what happened to him. He was, I don't know, somebody once told me a word. Mercurial. Yeah, he was a mercurial character.
That he was.
A guy like him. Oh, he got a lot of people sore at him. Well, at least he left a pretty tune to remember him by. I just can't get it out of my head. Everybody loves it. Well, almost everybody. I know one character who didn't.
That so?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, it was Eddie's last night on the job. He was playing the tune. And then this guy, he comes in here all the time, this guy wanted to give him $10 just to quit playing it.
You're kidding.
No, it's a fact.
Do you know the guy?
Oh, sure. He's a regular. Oh, he hasn't been in lately. Yeah. One thing I gotta say about old R.J. Jackson, he's got a tin ear.
R.J. Jackson. Tell me more about him. Liz. I found him.
How?
I'll tell you later. His name is R.J. Jackson. He has a place out in the country up in the mountains. I'm going there now. As soon as Tom checks in with you, tell him to take Route 603 to Mountain Lane. Turn right and go up the hill as far as he can. That's the place.
But, Bill, there's so much snow.
They keep the roads clear up there.
Bill, I must tell you. I know what bothers me about
Liz,
Tom.
I want to get started.
Look, how did Tom know to come to Central City? We didn't tell him where we were going.
He said he read about Eddie in the morning papers.
Yes, but Tom was already in Central City early this morning. How did he get
Darling,
here?
you're talking about Tom. Now, I'm sure he... Look, honey, I have got to be on my way. Hi, Tom. Glad you made it.
Yeah. I guess this is as far as the car can take us. It's that house on the top of the hill.
Yeah.
I think we should have sent the police.
How? Once again, we don't have the evidence?
And what are we going up there for? To kill him ourselves?
No. I think we can get a confession out of him.
Oh, sure.
Now, look, he's human. He's got a guilty conscience. He'll break down. He has to. Now, come on. Boy, looks like Korea, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Miles of nothing. You could just sink into the snow. It could just be the end of everything.
That's far enough.
What?
Stay where you are.
Look in the doorway. It's Myers.
He's got a rifle.
You're trespassing. Now get out of here, or I'll shoot.
You wouldn't shoot us, Myers.
My name isn't Myers. Now get out of here.
We have to talk with you, R.J. We're coming up.
I'm warning you.
Come on, R.J. You can't get away with it. Look out! Hit the ground. Stay low, Tom. There's a line of trees leading up to the house. We'll work our way in.
Hell, this guy can kill both of us.
I don't think he wants to.
Are you crazy? This is the man who just killed Eddie last night.
Right now, he's scared. Come on. Head for those trees.
Keep away! Keep away!
We'll try for that stone fence. Tom, why? Put your gun away.
I'm not going to let him pick me off. He'll show himself in the doorway when he wants to shoot again.
Don't. He's only trying to scare us off.
I see him.
Don't, Tom. Don't.
I got him. I got him. Look. He's on the ground.
Hurry up. Come on. R.J.
Don't kill me. Don't shoot again. Get me a doctor.
You'll get a doctor. But first, we'll get a confession. You sold us out in the prison camp. Confess.
No, I didn't tell.
Let him alone. He'll confess later. Let's bring him inside.
No, he'll confess now. And when Eddie Benson found you, you shot him.
No, I didn't.
And who did?
I'm hurt bad. Get me to a doctor. Bill, you were always a good guy. Help me.
R.J., it was a long time ago. The world's forgotten. I don't even think you could be brought to trial for it. It's just among the three of us. Now, I want you to confess.
I didn't do it. Honest, I didn't do it.
You did, because you didn't show up. You stayed behind. You told the guard.
No.
What did they give you? Did you have to kill Eddie, too?
I didn't kill anybody.
Yes, you did. We can get the waitress to testify. She'll tell how you saw Eddie in the lounge, how you passed out.
Well, sure, I was scared. Because you guys always thought it was me. But it could have been anybody. You, Tom.
What?
Or you, Bill. Or even Eddie himself.
Let's drag him down to my car and bring him in.
Tom.
Now, please. Haven't I suffered enough?
No, it's not enough.
Tom, how did you know about the waitress? Huh? How did you know about the waitress?
What? You told me.
No, I didn't tell you anything about the waitress. I just left a message for you to meet me here.
Well, you must have said something about it to Liz.
But I didn't.
Well, then, how would I know?
How? Because Eddie told you.
Eddie? Why would Eddie tell me?
You said you could get it out of him. Did you tell him that I would never help him, but that you would? Is that how you got him to trust you?
Oh, come on. Why would I want to kill Eddie?
Because of that talk we had in my house. Maybe unconsciously, both Eddie and I started to think. Why were we always convinced that R.J. was the informer? Because you were the first one to accuse him. And who said not to denounce him to the army? You did, Tom. And who said let's hunt him down ourselves? You did. Why? Because you knew it would be impossible. You knew we would settle down in a civilian life and forget it.
Bill, you've got it wrong.
But you didn't figure on Eddie. You didn't figure one of us would spend his whole life.
Hell, you know me.
Everywhere you turn, it's you, Tom. You with all the shrewd answers. Why did you have to kill Eddie?
Because he was starting to talk just like you are. And then he figured it out. And he wanted to kill me. So I had to kill him. It was self-defense. I had to kill him. It was like it used to be. Back in combat. Kill or be killed.
You were the informer.
No, I informed, but I wasn't the informer. I just didn't do what Hennessy ordered. I didn't cover my tracks. That's why they found us.
What did they pay you?
Nothing. I wanted us to get caught.
You wanted it? Why?
Well, Hennessy was wrong. The only time in his life he was wrong. We could never have made it, Bill. All of us would have died in the snow. I was trying to save our lives. I tried to explain it to Hennessy. I tried, but he wouldn't listen. He would only say in that way of his, "Trust me, kid. It'll be okay." And I keep trying to explain to him. Believe me, I try. Every night for the last 20 years, I try to make him see it, but I can't find him. He's out there in the snow, and I can't find him.
All right, Tom, we better go back to town.
No, wait here. I'll find him. He can't have gone far. I'll find him. I'll explain why I did it. He'll forgive me. He'll understand.
Stop him,
why
Bill.
I did it.
Stop him. He'll get lost out there. He'll freeze to death.
I can't leave you, RJ. I have to get you to a doctor. We'll come back for Tom. Later.
They found Tom Wilson later, much later, about the time of the spring thaw. The snow, the ice had preserved the final expression on his face. It was one of peace and calm, as if he had actually found Hennessy, and Hennessy had forgiven him. Well, Hennessy would. He was that kind of man. The boy dreams. The man does. It's what we call the generation gap. And this is not the distance between parents and children. It is the unbridgeable abyss between what a man is today and what he wanted to be yesterday. But that's because you can only be young once. Something you can do more than once is listen. You can listen again and again to our Mystery Theater tales. Our cast included Tony Roberts, Mandel Kramer, George Petrie, Bryna Rayburn, and Lon Clark. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
Friendly music station, KIXI, dial 91 AM, Seattle.
CBS News. Authorities in San Francisco are seeking kidnapped Patricia Hearst as a material witness in a bank robbery there yesterday.
This is Ann Crosman reporting on the CBS Radio Network. 3 other women known to be associated with the Symbionese Liberation Army have been charged in the robbery. The SLA has claimed responsibility for the Hearst kidnapping. All 4 women were photographed during the holdup, along with 1 male suspect. But both the FBI and the U.S. Attorney in the district say that Miss Hearst may have been forced to take part, since the photos show 1 suspect training an automatic weapon in the direction of Miss Hearst. San Francisco Mayor Joseph Alioto describes the SLA as a band of killers and third-rate intellectuals with delusions of their own importance, and he put his position on the line.
We are now free to call these folks for what they are. And the first thing that we have to establish is put the mark of the outlaw on these folks who deserve it. They aren't great social revolutionaries. They aren't social revolutionaries. They are killers. They are murderers. They are kidnappers. They are extortionists.
Mayor Alioto was speaking to the Comstock Club in Sacramento. More in a minute. Former Attorney General John Mitchell faces more questioning today from the prosecution in his New York trial. Mitchell and former Commerce Secretary Maurice Stans are charged with obstructing an investigation by the Securities and Exchange Commission of Robert Vesco in exchange for Vesco's secret contribution to President Nixon's re-election campaign. Chris Kelly reports on yesterday's testimony.
In a firm voice, the former Attorney General declared he is absolutely not guilty of any of the charges against him. Testifying again in his own defense, Mitchell insisted there was nothing improper in accepting the campaign contribution of financier Robert Vesco. He said that after he and Maurice Stans discussed its propriety, they concluded it would be all right to accept the money. Mitchell did not change his story under a lengthy cross-examination by the prosecution. He said the whole matter of Vesco's contribution would have been discarded if he thought the financier was trying to buy a fix. As Mitchell put it, if Vesco thought he was going to get a favor, he would be looking for more than just a meeting with the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Mitchell denied intervening on Vesco's behalf, claiming documents suggesting he did so were merely attempts by a Vesco associate to convince the financier that he, Mitchell, was doing something for him. Chris Kelly, CBS News, New York.
The Supreme Court has been told that some communities in the country are using the High Court's new rules against pornography to suppress legitimate artistic expression. CBS News legal correspondent Fred Graham reports from Washington.
At issue was the movie Carnal Knowledge, which won an Academy Award nomination for one of its stars, Anne Margaret, but brought an obscenity conviction to a theater owner who showed it in Albany, Georgia. Today, New York defense lawyer Louis Nizer told the justices this was cultural illiteracy, and he warned that unless it's overturned, filmmakers may become timid and unimaginative. Nizer asked the High Court to re-examine the landmark obscenity decision it handed down just last spring when the court said each community can enforce its own standard of candor in obscenity cases. Nizer said communities should not be permitted to suppress films unless they are hardcore pornography without any artistic merit. Jack Valeni, president of the Motion Picture Association of America, said the film industry couldn't comply by simply cutting its film differently for different communities. The Supreme Court is expected to hand down its decision in June. Fred Graham, CBS News, Washington.
Back in a minute. Vice President Ford said on Monday night that he thinks members of Congress, candidates for Congress, and top government officials should expect to have their income tax returns audited. The Vice President says these people believe the President and Vice President should be prepared to undergo audits, and they should expect the same treatment. Ford was speaking at a news conference in Palm Springs, California, where he and his wife are vacationing this week. In Key Biscayne, the White House said that Mr. Nixon is heartened and moved by more than $40,000 he has received from Americans who want to help him pay back his back taxes. But the White House says the President will return the money to the senders, and in the case of anonymous donations, give them to the Red Cross to help victims of the recent tornado disasters. Mississippi Governor Bill Waller is asking Mr. Nixon to declare nearly half his state's counties as disaster areas following 4 days of rain and flooding. Damage is estimated at $50 million. 7 people are known dead. Thousands are homeless. Civil defense and Red Cross workers are caring for the evacuees. One of the hardest hit cities is Hattiesburg, as David Dick reports.
The floodwaters of the Leaf and Bowie rivers lap around the eaves of the houses in East Hattiesburg. Hundreds of residents driven from their homes stand on scattered bits of high ground, and they survey the heavy loss. Other homeowners wade aimlessly through the brown water, a woman with a frightened dog in her arms. A man piloting a boat alone. He waves as he passes down the street, dotted with automobile roofs that poke above the water level. A man sloshing through the water saying he won't move away because it's home. And two men in a house refusing to come out at all, standing waist deep in water. They vow to stay no matter what. They took turns sleeping last night on a pool table in one of their rooms. David Dick, CBS News, Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Back in a minute. A team of doctors in Johannesburg have injected an expectant mother with an experimental hormone they believe could double the IQ of her baby. The hormone is known to increase the efficiency of the placenta in the last 4 weeks of pregnancy, the same time when the brain cells of the fetus develop. A report from the African country of Niger says that the Army Chief of Staff says that he deposed the president to relieve what he calls the catastrophic situation in the poor country. This is Ann Crosman, CBS News.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. When we began these times together, many of the stories were what we call Gothic. This time, I'm returning to that vein with a story that does not depend on the immediate characters, but those whose roots are buried in the past. So don't be surprised if a ghost might raise its head. Our mystery drama, The Dead You Can't Bury, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Ian Martin and stars Jada Rowland. I'll be back shortly with Act One. They used to call them lawn parties, or fêtes, or galas. They've fallen out of fashion, for few people can afford them anymore. Even in 1899, when this story begins, they were the province of the rich. There'd be an orchestra for dancing, and picturesque tents dotting the lawn. Inside would be games of chance, a kiss lottery, a silhouette artist, and predictably and invariably, a fortune teller. Come, let's join this gala, as innocently and unaware as Amanda Harrow has done, at her brother's instigation.
Now admit it, Amanda. Aren't you glad you came?
Not really, Ralph. I'm not ready to go out in public yet.
Now, honey, you got to stop taking Father's death so hard.
I don't mean to. It's just... we were so close.
I don't make me feel any worse than I do, little sister. I'm guilty enough.
Why should you be guilty?
Well, I know how rough the last year's been on you, and I couldn't be around to help.
Not your fault, Ralph. You have a career to follow.
That takes me to the damnedest places.
Oh, not this time around. Don't you like Vienna?
Oh, who could not like Vienna, as long as it lasts?
What does that mean?
I have a kind of feeling I'm going to get my moving instructions again.
Oh, no. Where to?
Looks like the Far East. Japan, I guess. It's all a bit unsettled. Not the best time for making plans.
You mean you and Grace don't want me in Vienna?
Oh, don't be silly, honey. You always have a home with us. I got better dreams for you. That's why I coaxed you out to this gala today. I have someone I want you to meet.
Now, don't tell me you're turning matchmaker.
This happens to be about the best friend I have in the whole world. And he said he'd be here by lunchtime. Look, Amanda, it'd be easier for me to hunt through this crowd for him if I'm alone. So why don't you go over to Madame Lazonga's tent there and have your palm read while we're waiting?
No, thanks. I don't like people who forecast the future. Gives me cold shivers. I'll pass it up. I'll sit here on this bench and have a nice rest. I'm still not back to myself.
Well, if you'd rather, I wouldn't leave you.
Don't be silly. Go find your friend. I'm just going to shut my eyes for a moment against the glare of the sun.
I won't be long.
Madame Lazanga?
I have been expecting you.
Me? I don't even know you.
But I know you. Amanda Harrow.
How do you know my name?
It was given to me to know. Come, we have so little time. Extend your palms beneath the light. Ah, so. Can you read them?
No.
It is as well. Across the palm is the line of the head. Here is the line of the heart above it. Here is the line of fate. And here is the line of life. Beware. Beware.
Beware of what?
A man is about to enter your life. He will bring the threat of great danger.
What threat? What kind of danger?
He will bring you death.
Death?
If you marry him.
Who is he? What is his name?
His name is Andrew Trevelyan. If you marry him, your doom is sealed. You will be marked for death.
This incense is so thick and heavy. I'm dizzy. It's so hot in here. It's hard to breathe. Why?
Ask no questions. Run for your life.
Run? Where?
Away from him. From Andrew Trevelyan. Andrew.
Amanda? You must have fallen asleep. Wake up.
I didn't fall asleep. It was that incense. Oh, never mind. I'm all right now.
Amanda, I want you to meet one of my dearest friends, Andrew Trevelyan.
Well, the pleasure, it would seem, is all mine. I didn't mean to startle you. You look as though you'd seen a ghost.
Something wrong, Amanda?
No, Ralph. Not really. I just didn't realize how tired I am.
Amanda's been under a terrible strain for the last year.
Well, no one knows better than I how exhausting and debilitating a long, terminal illness can be.
See, Andy lost his wife a year ago.
And I'm very sorry about your father, Miss Harrow.
I'm sorry about your wife.
Thank you. Well, shall we push aside the cobwebs and enjoy this festive occasion? I've been looking forward to meeting you, Miss Harrow.
But do we have to be so formal? Can't we make it Amanda and Andrew?
Well, I'd be delighted. Amanda?
Of course. Andrew.
Well, now that makes it so much easier to invite you to be my guest for lunch.
You'll have to count me out. I have to get back to the embassy. There's a lot to do to get ready for my return to Vienna. But please, don't let me spoil the party.
It was a lovely lunch, Andrew.
If it was, you made it so, Amanda. Would you like to dance?
Why, yes. I think that might be nice.
Oh, you dance very well, Amanda.
So do you. Oh, I'm a little rusty.
So am I. Well, we'll improve together.
I'm afraid we haven't much time.
We'll make it. Will you have dinner with me?
We haven't even finished lunch yet.
We haven't started to get to know each other yet.
There isn't much chance of that, Andrew.
Why not?
Because I have to leave for Vienna with Ralph next week.
I don't think so.
What does that mean?
It means I want you to stay on here in America as my wife.
I'm immensely flattered, Andrew, of course, but it's quite impossible.
You can't refuse me, Amanda. I need you. You need me. We need each other.
But we've just met.
We could very shortly be separated forever.
But we don't know anything about each other.
Well, that can be remedied. First of all, let me say that I know a great deal about you.
You do?
I do. Well, you were born on the family plantation at Stanford, Maryland, in 1876 or 77. Your brother's a little vague about the date.
That's Ralph. It was 76.
Well, now I know even more about you. You have no other brothers and sisters. You love horses and to ride. When you were 19, your mother died and you took over running the house. 2 or 3 years later, your father was stricken and you took over all the nursing chores. You stayed with him until his death 3 weeks ago. So you see, I do know quite a bit.
About me. But what do I know about you?
Oh, anything you want to. I'm 28. My father was thrown from his horse when I was 25, and well, he broke his neck instantly. I took over the family business, lumber, and shortly before his death, we'd all taken a trip to Mexico where I met a girl named Margarita Valdez. We fell in love and were married as decently after my father's burial as we could. Within a year, she contracted a wasting illness and died a little over 12 months ago. There were no children.
But you loved her.
Yes, I did. And since she died, I haven't thought about life as being much worth living until I met you. Oh, I kept up the pretense because of Mother and Jenny.
Jenny?
Yes, my little sister. I guess life has been harder on her than all of us. She was born and still is a deaf mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. For everything. For Margarita. Did you love her very much?
Yes, for the short time I was allowed to. But that's past and buried with her. Life must go on.
I've tried to tell myself that since Father died. But somehow, I didn't have much interest until...
Oh, say it. Go on, Amanda, say it.
Till I met you.
Oh, I knew it. I could see it in your eyes. Oh, whoa, hold, boys, hold. Then will you marry me?
Oh, Andrew, give a girl a chance.
No, not on your life. I'll keep after you till you say yes. And I'm not going back to Seattle without you as my bride. I'll never believe it. You actually did it, you two. Oh, thanks to you, Ralph.
My brother Cupid with the unerring name.
Well, I'll just run one more check on the luggage and give you two a chance to say goodbye. Well, goodbye, sis.
Oh, Ralph. I am doing the right thing, aren't I? He is really as kind and sweet and gentle and loving as he has been this last week since he met me.
He's just as you find him, honey. You got nothing to be afraid of. You're not, are you?
Of course not. This is one bed I made that I don't mind lying in.
Sorry, darling. I didn't know you were asleep.
I wasn't. I mean, I didn't think.
Oh, I didn't mean to take so long. There was some trouble with our dinner reservations, but it's all straightened out. What is it? Amanda, what's wrong?
It's nothing.
Where do you go?
Beg pardon?
Where do you go on these little snoozes of yours? What demons do you meet there that send you back with such haunted eyes?
Oh, Andrew, please forgive me. It's so silly. I'm not like this usually. I'm just so worn out with all the excitement.
Of course you are. Dead tired. But it's a nice long trip to the West Coast. I'm going to make you forget all the bad things. You just put your life in my hands.
Now I wonder, can we take Andrew at face value? Was the gypsy fortune teller's warning just some sick joke? No, I don't think we can dismiss it that easily. If you remember, she named names. But then, was there a fortune teller at all? Or was it just the product of Amanda's imagination as she half dozed? I shall return shortly with Act 2. It's hard to imagine the magic of a cross-country train journey at the end of the last century. With all its inconveniences, it created a special world. The muted pungency of the coal smoke, the lulling rhythm of the wheels clicking on the track joints, the countryside flowing by endlessly, soothing the senses and pleasantly numbing the passenger in a delightful dream. By the time Amanda arrived in Seattle, after the close quarters of the last 7 days with her new husband, she had lost all doubts and fears.
That's Glenlewin.
The house my father built.
But it's enormous.
The Welsh tend to have dreams of grandeur, Amanda.
Oh, it's fantastic. With all the curlicues and ornate moldings, it looks like gingerbread.
San Francisco Victorian. The last word in its day.
What's that big square turret with the high roof and all the dormer windows?
Oh, that was my father's retreat, his sanctum sanctorum. Nobody uses it anymore.
It has a terrace around it. Well, the view of Puget Sound must be magnificent from that... what is it they call it? A widow's walk.
We call it a captain's walk here. But the name is academic, since, as I say, no one uses it anymore. Well, that's enough about the house. Let's concentrate on all the people who live in it that you're about to meet.
Your mother. I hope she likes me.
How could she fail? And my sister Jenny.
I hope she will love me as much as I want to love her.
You'll be wonderful for Jenny. You're just her age. And don't let her handicap affect you. Jenny manages her own world quite well. Now remember, if you face her as you speak, she can read your lips.
I will remember that without fail. And who else will be there?
Oh, Higby, the butler. The autocrat of the house, the backbone of the family. It's very important to have him approve of you.
Are you implying that I won't measure up?
As if I'd ever. Let's see, who else? Oh, Mrs. Malone, the housekeeper. Oh, you'll love her. She's self-effacing. You won't know she's around half the time, but she runs the house like a top. And a whole bevy of maids whose names you'll know sooner than I will. And let's see, the outside staff. Old Tom, the gardener, Ned, who takes care of the horses, and the stable boys.
So many people. I feel like a queen.
You are. Oh, look. All your loyal subjects are lined up on the porch waiting for you. Let me be the first to welcome you, Your Majesty.
Mrs. Trevelyan has prepared... Oh, I beg your pardon.
Well, for what, Higby?
I was referring to the madam... that is, I mean Mrs. Trevelyan Sr., not your lovely bride.
Why, thank you, Higby. I shall treasure that compliment.
No more than the truth, Mrs. Trevelyan.
Well, to settle the business of names and protocol, Higby, you may inform the staff that my wife is now the madam. My mother is Mrs. Trevelyan Sr., and... what is it that she's done?
She has prepared a residence for you and your wife, sir, in the West Wing.
Well, what was the matter with the old quarters?
Well, I would imagine Mrs. Trevelyan Sr. felt that under the circumstances, you and Mrs. Trevelyan would feel more comfortable in fresh surroundings.
Well, it doesn't matter as long as Amanda and I are together. All right, Higby, you can... have our bags taken up to the new suite.
I will arrange for that immediately, sir.
Where are Mother and Jenny?
Well, your mother has had a slight cold, and it was thought better not to have her outside in the chill to greet you. They're waiting in the library, sir.
Come on, Amanda. Let's beard the old dragon in her den.
Oh, don't call her that. From all you've told me about her, it isn't true.
I know. She may breathe a little fire, but she doesn't bite.
Oh... I hope they like me and accept me.
Just be your own adorable self and all's well.
Hello, Mother.
Andrew, it's so good to have you home.
It's good to be back. Hi, Jenny. How are you? Oh, my, what a bear hug. Yes, I know what you're saying. You miss me. I can read lips, too. Now, Mother, this is Amanda.
How do you do, Mrs. Trevelyan?
Why, child, you're beautiful. Quite amazingly lovely. Even more so than Margarita.
Mother, for heaven's sake. And Amanda, this is my little sister, Jenny.
Jenny, I've heard so much about you. I just have to give you a hug.
Well, I'm sorry, Andrew. I didn't mean to raise old ghosts.
And don't let them lie.
But Andrew didn't prepare me for how pretty you are.
We're delighted to have you here at Glenlewin. I hope you'll find happiness here. I trust you've had a good trip.
It was wonderful. Most of our country is new to me, and it was exciting to see it firsthand.
I suggest you take Amanda to her new home. Let her get settled and have a rest.
That would suit me. I need a bath.
I'd like to sort of get adjusted and freshen up.
Well, then, off you go. There's plenty of time to get acquainted in the days to... Come. Jenny, where are you going? No, child. They want to be alone.
Only till I get unpacked and get my bearings. Then as soon as you or Andrew teach me sign language, we'll have some long talks. Did she understand me, Andrew?
Oh, yes.
Well, then why does she look so unhappy?
Well, she gets a little moody at times. Let her alone. She'll come around. Come on, darling. Let's go upstairs. What are you looking at, Amanda?
Just the view. It's stunning. Overwhelming. How high are we?
Oh, 500 or 600 feet above the sound. Right on the crest of the hill.
It makes me dizzy to look down.
I'm so used to it, I didn't notice. Maybe it's better we're here on the terrace side. The front of the house is built right up to the edge. It's a sheer drop all the way down.
Andrew, you look ill suddenly.
No, just a ghost crossing my grave. Don't mind me. A couple of memories still to wash away. Oh, I wish we had time for a ride before dinner.
Oh, I'd love that.
Well, it's silly. Our clothes are still packed. I'd have to check the horses out. Too late for today. We'll have to make it tomorrow.
Such a dreadful day for your first one here, Amanda.
Oh, I don't mind rain. It's exciting. I'm just sorry we couldn't have the ride we planned.
Oh, the rain's much too heavy for that. Are you a horsewoman?
Oh, yes. Ever since I was a child.
Do you jump? Ever ridden to hounds?
Since I was 12 years old.
Well, you make a fine companion for Andrew. Something he missed in his first marriage. Margarita didn't like horses. For that matter, Margarita didn't like it here at all, really. It is a lonely place. I wonder how you'll find it.
I suspect I'll like it very much. I want to be part of the family. I want to try to prove to you and Jenny that I belong.
But you don't have to prove anything to me, my dear. But Jenny is another story. Most of the time, she's lost in her own private world.
Hello, Jenny. Isn't it a lovely morning? The last 3 days I thought the rain was never going to stop. Did you understand what I said? Oh, good. Well, where have you been hiding yourself? I haven't seen you except at meals. What did you say? Oh, dear, I wish I could understand sign language. Oh, here comes Andrew. You can tell him and he'll tell me. Jenny, what did I say that was wrong?
Hey, Jenny, where are you off to? Jenny? What on earth did you say to her, Amanda?
Nothing, darling. I just asked her jokingly where she'd been hiding herself the last 3 days, and she took off like a startled deer.
Oh, well, you'll have to get used to her. She has her days when she disappears like a little animal and holds up somewhere. Well, come on, darling. The rain's over and the sun's out. Time to cheer up. How'd you like to go for that nice long ride?
That's just what I need to lift my spirits.
Ooh, easy, Bo, easy. He'll simmer down, Amanda, once we get going.
Oh, he's all right, aren't you, boy? He's just short on exercise.
Give you a leg up?
Oh, I'll manage.
Would you like to come along, Mother? You're dressed for it.
No. These are just old stable clothes. I've been carrying down my mare.
Well, maybe Jenny would like to come. I thought I saw her lurking by one of the horse stalls.
No, she's in one of her moods today. Well enough alone.
Andrew, I understand you've married a real horsewoman. Why don't you run her over the South Trail?
Oh, too many jumps, Mother, when she's not used to the horse.
Why, Bo and I are bosom pals already. Besides, after being cooped up in the house for 3 whole days, a few jumps are just what I need to work off my frustration.
Okay, if you're game, we'll head straight between those 2 big sequoias.
All right. Catch me. We're going to have to take the hedge, Bo. Easy does it. Now, duck and hop. Ow! Ow!
Amanda, are you all right?
Amanda.
Oh, I'm all right. Oh, I just sprained my ankle, I think.
Oh, what happened?
Stirrup leather broke just at the top of the jump. I was thrown and landed on my ankle. Oh, I hope I didn't break it.
You could have broken your neck taking a chance like that. Here, now, put your arm around my neck and we'll get you back to the house and call a doctor.
Where am I?
In your bed, safe at home.
Who are you?
I'm Dr. Wilson, the family physician.
Physician? Oh, yes. I took a tumble. My ankle. It doesn't hurt.
No, at least not for the moment. I've given you something to sedate you, but it's a bad sprain, going to keep you off your feet for quite a few days.
But it's not broken.
Oh, no. You're very fortunate after such a bad fall. Well, I think you should rest now. You've had a very bad shock.
I can't do anything else. I'm so sleepy. I can't keep my eyes open.
Why don't you listen to my warnings, Amanda? Don't you see what is planned for you? You nearly broke your neck, like mine. Don't you see? You have to be killed. You're going to die.
Curiouser and curiouser, as Alice in Wonderland liked to remark. Is someone trying to kill Amanda? If so, who? Andrew? Jenny the deaf mute? Or Mrs. Trevelyan? And why? Who is the mysterious warning voice? Or is it perhaps only a fevered product of a girl emotionally disturbed? I would hope that all of these questions can be answered when we return with Act 3. It was Francis Bacon who said, "The inquiring of truth, or the wooing of it, and the belief of truth, which is the enjoying of it, is the sovereign good of human nature." Now you, along with Amanda, are going to follow his statement and hope that in the revelation of it, it will have been worth the inquiry. Amanda has slept 3/4 of the clock around and finally awakes to find her husband pacing their bedroom anxiously.
Andrew?
Oh, you're awake at last, thank heaven.
Why? What's the matter?
I was afraid I wouldn't see you again.
Darling, I'm not that sick. Only a sprained ankle.
I didn't mean you wouldn't be here. I meant me.
What are you talking about?
I've got to leave you for a day or two.
Why?
It's an emergency. We have a big fire in one of our most valuable forests about 25 miles southeast of here.
After all that rain?
Well, I wish they'd had it instead of us. Every tree is tinder dry. I have to be there to help fight it.
But how long will you be there?
Until it burns itself out or we get more rain. Pray for both. You'll be all right while I'm gone?
Well, of course,
Dr. Wilson will be on hand to check your ankle. Higby and Mrs. Malone will run the house. And, of course, Mother and Jenny will be here to look after you while you're bedridden.
Of course.
You understand, I have to go.
Yes, darling.
You'll feel quite safe while I'm gone?
Why shouldn't I? Just tell me one thing before you go.
What, Amanda?
How did Margarita die?
What? Oh, why, I've told you. It was after a long illness.
That's what caused her death.
Of course. Well, now I have to go. Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye.
Till I see you again. Well, here comes Higby with your breakfast. He'll take care of you till I get back, won't you, Higby?
Oh, you may be sure of that, sir.
Back as soon as I can, darling.
Hurry.
Will you have the tray in bed, madam?
Oh, I'd rather sit up, but I do feel a little shaky still. I'd better have it in bed.
There you are, Mrs. Trevelyan.
Higby, maybe I have no right to ask this question. But would you tell me how the first Mrs. Trevelyan died? I mean, Andrew's first wife.
Hasn't Mr. Trevelyan told you himself?
He said of a long, wasting illness.
Was that all?
Yes.
I would rather you ask Dr. Wilson about that, madam. It's not really my business.
Well, the ankle's doing very nicely. Better than I expected. You haven't tried putting any weight on it?
Not yet, Dr. Wilson.
Well, it might be a good notion just to test it. Shall we try?
Of course, if you think so.
I'll help you to stand up. There. Now, what's the verdict?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, pretty tender.
Oh, yes.
And still, in a pinch, you might be able to move on it.
I suppose I could.
Yes, that's good.
Why would I want to?
I'm not prepared to answer that question quite yet.
Will you answer another one for me?
Well, if I can.
How did Andrew's first wife die?
Why do you ask me that?
Because no one else seems to want to answer it. Will you?
Yes. Well, the primary cause of death was multiple internal and external injuries due to a fall from a great height.
She didn't have a long illness?
Oh, yes, a protracted and very painful one. So painful that the court ruled she had committed suicide while of unsound mind by jumping off the captain's walk upon the turret there and plunging all the way to the rocky shore of Puget Sound.
How awful. So that's why the door to the staircase up there is locked and bolted.
Ah, is it? No, I didn't know, but I'm glad to hear it.
Why?
I wouldn't want to see another accident like that take over this family.
Dr. Wilson, are you trying to tell me something?
I don't know. I've served this family faithfully all my life as a doctor, and I now find myself troubled by what I'm afraid may be a very guilty conscience.
Why?
Higby gave me some very shocking information about your fall from the horse.
What?
The stirrup leather didn't break. It was unbuckled.
Huh. You think someone deliberately tried to kill me?
No, I didn't say that.
But it's what you meant. And I'm beginning to see what you're trying to tell me. That Andrew's first wife was being systematically poisoned, and when that didn't succeed, she was pushed to her death.
I'm not sure what I think. I have no proof.
Wasn't an autopsy performed?
The family was against it, and I didn't want to cause them any more concern at the time. I didn't insist. This time I intend to be more careful.
But who would want to kill... You don't mean my husband. Not Andrew.
He was the only person on the ride with you.
But why? Why would he want me dead?
It's common knowledge that the lumberyard and mill have been in trouble. Andrew's father was my friend, but he was a very poor businessman.
You're saying Andy killed his first wife for her money?
Margarita had no money.
So he had to kill her? So he would be free to come east and marry an heiress like me?
Well, he went east to raise a loan. I know that.
No. I won't believe it.
Well, somebody loosened that stirrup strap.
It could have been a careless groom.
You don't really believe that?
Well, it could have been Mrs. Trevelyan or Jenny. They were both at the stable before we left.
And Trevelyan? Well, that's incredible. Yes, but Jenny, it's hard to reach her and what she thinks.
I can't believe she'd hurt anyone.
The whole problem is you can't believe it of any of them. Now, tomorrow I will get a court order to exhume Margarita's remains. If any trace of arsenic is found, then we must get you out of this house.
Wake up, Amanda.
Who is it?
You know who it is by now.
Oh, yes. I suppose I knew it all along. You're Margarita.
Yes.
And you were the fortune teller, too, at the beginning. The one I didn't listen to.
If you only had, I could have rested easier in my grave.
Oh, please, tell me it wasn't Andrew that killed you. It was suicide, wasn't it?
In my faith, there would be no forgiveness for that.
Then who killed you? Tell me the truth.
It is not given to me to know all of that yet.
Then why are you here again tonight?
Because I was sent to reveal the truth at last. Listen.
What?
Get out of bed. Get your robe. Come with me, quietly, to the door. Open it slowly, just a little. What do you see?
It's Mrs. Trevelyan. She's going toward the turret stairs. But she can't go up there. It's locked.
Not if you have a key. Look.
Why is she going up?
Give her time. Then we will follow and find out.
It's so dark.
We're on the landing now.
But there's another door.
Slightly ajar. Can you see in? Who's there?
Mrs. Trevelyan and Jenny.
Hush. Listen.
Did you hear me, Jenny? What are you doing here? Answer me. What are you clutching in your hand? Give it to me, you little brat. What have you got here? Your diary. So this is where you've been hiding it ever since. Give it to me. Now, just let me turn to that date and find out. No, don't move, or I'll strangle you. You understand? You can read my lips. Don't move. August 17th, 1898. She's still giving Margarita the white powder in things she eats and drinks. It hurts her stomach. I'm afraid to tell anyone. Mother would kill me as easily as a fly. I have a better way. I poured her white powder down the sink and replaced it with cornstarch. You little devil! That's why she wouldn't die.
It was Mrs. Trevelyan who was trying to kill you. She finally succeeded. She was the one who pushed me off the widow's walk.
But why? So, Jenny, I see from your last entry in your diary that you have concluded I am going to kill this wife, too. You are right. You are right about something else, too. I am also going to kill you. No use running, Jenny. You can't get away. Now I have you just where I want you.
They went through the door, out to the widow's walk. Go quickly. There's no escape for the child from there.
Yes. Stop it, Mrs. Trevelyan.
You can't get away with murder this time. You have a witness.
Oh, you. What are you doing here? No. No, stop her.
Run, Jenny, run. Get some help.
Let her go for help. I'll attend to her later. You have to come first.
Mrs. Trevelyan, get hold of yourself. I'm sure I'm much stronger than you.
Why didn't you break your neck this morning as you should have?
So it was you that unbuckled the stirrup. Why? Tell me. Why should you have wanted to kill both Margarita and me?
You don't have a son. You couldn't understand. Since his father died, he's all I have left. No one is going to take him away from me, steal his love from me. He is my son, and as long as I live, no other woman shall have his love. I'll kill you first.
No, Mrs. Trevelyan, you... Oh, no, don't. Help!
It's too late. There's nothing to stop me now.
I can.
Who are you?
Look on my face.
No! Margarita! No! You're dead.
The better to take you with me. Oh, good Lord, no.
Madam, are you all right, madam?
Oh, yes. Oh, let me lean on you, Higgins, please.
Yeah.
I turned my bad ankle and it gave way.
Yes, madam, yes. But where is Mrs. Trevelyan?
She went over the parapet. All that long way down.
I understand, madam. Have no fear. The secret will remain with me.
I didn't push her. She just fell.
Suicide?
Retribution. Sleep in peace, Margarita. At last.
As I promised, I have brought you a ghost story. A sad and haunted ghost. Amanda is a lucky one. Andrew is all he seemed to be and need never know the true story of his mother's death. Memories will soon fade for Jenny, who will live in happiness with Amanda and Andrew. Amanda, too, will gradually forget in the joy of all her companionship. Only Margarita is left alone. Join Amanda to pray that she will rest in peace. I'll be back shortly. There's nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. If only we could all follow that simple precept, at least on the negative side, accept people as they are, not the way we would like to find them. But then, if everyone were that bland, there would be precious few stories to tell. And where would I be? Or you, dear audience? Our cast included Jada Rowland, Lloyd Bautista, Carol Teitel, and Ian Martin. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.